Welcome back to LETV. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to make sure you don't miss out on any upcoming content. Let's do this.
Welcome to the pub, Big Rammy, everybody. You ever see Asterix where it's just a big fucking ball? You see arms and legs flying around.
Starting off, Mog's going to knock me out in a minute. Welcome to the podcast, guys. It's the first format, first podcast with a different format. Hopefully be a couple other boys arriving as well throughout it, so it's going to be interesting. Not sure who's coming actually. Who's coming? Word?
Maybe Deeko, maybe ST, maybe True Facts. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
even Ryan, see that?
Yeah. In fact,
last minute held together. Not even got a name for it yet. So watch out, Riddler's going to name it something cool. Otherwise, just something that YouTube is clever on.
Somebody cancelled a podcast today, so we last minute, 9 o'clock this morning or something, I hit Word Up. If you're in an emergency, hit Word Up.
Problem solved.
No, don't tell people.
I know.
I'm enjoying doing nothing these days.
Throat's dry as fuck. But if I'm in an emergency, I'll hit Word Up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sound. Well, we're just covering all sorts of general chat, really like. We're here with Mog as well. What's Mog saying?
Not much, mate. How have you been?
Aye,
It's been a minute.
Okay, it's been a couple of months since we put yours up,
Aye, quite a few, man. I think mine wasn't long after Words and all, so we were all.
Aye.
Yeah.
In fact,
We've all done a bunch of shit since then, so.
Aye, Words must be 6 months old.
Yeah. And I like the one where So-Called fucking, you got the Sinner one as well.
Aye.
cool.
True
Yeah,
Facts
man,
one.
it's cool.
Yeah,
bunch
man,
of
it's
them.
all good. I've watched most of them. I need to catch up on some of the more recent ones, but
I think you two are actually got the best performing podcasts out. I think I've done 14, and you two have got.
This was your plan all along, is ding everybody else and see if you can get us.
Weird day.
All but the views, mate, we'll take you far.
Good, eh? And so I was like, Word always gets good views, eh? So I was like, I hit Word Up, and then Word's like that. Oh, Mog's up for it. I was like, yes.
Normally, mate, I would have been fucking slaving away in work, but the roof caved in my work, so the place is swimming in ceiling tiles, so I was like, I'll fucking happily do it.
Nice.
A free day off for a change.
Fingers crossed getting paid.
you say that?
No, that's not going to happen.
Is it
No.
not?
I'm sitting in the office for 6 hours until they tell me to go home the other day. I'm literally up to here in water going, we're not opening, so what the fuck am I doing here? I mean, they're like, oh, you can just get home. I went, could I tell you that 6 hours ago? So I better get paid for these 6 hours, but the rest of it, I doubt it.
That was a nightmare. I got stuck on the train as well, coming back from Glasgow. 2 trains delayed on the train, normally 45 minutes, 2 hours.
Same day, a couple of days ago, because of the
On
rain.
Friday. When Ferry Road here got flooded and that. Stupidly, I went to meet Conscious Route, which was lovely. I went to meet Conscious Route and see us burning.
On that day?
No, the day after. And I was like thinking, I'll just drive down, it'll be easy. Completely forgetting Ferry Road got flooded. So it wasn't it was still
Down
flooded, but
Drywall
all the
way
lights
and
were off, so it must have had an electrical thing because of the lights and the water and
Well, there's light switches hanging down for the roof in my work, sparking and that, and I'm going, fuck this, man.
You'd think Scotland would be used to rain by now, eh?
Yeah, it's nuts. But that was all in Drylaw way. Drylaw and Pilton.
It was Edinburgh was.
Aye,
I've seen a few videos, but
me too.
stupid. I got the train thinking, it'll be sunny, it'll clean up by the time we get back. But nah, it took me fucking ages, man.
Again, it's been raining for days, man. It's been raining for a week at least, eh? It's been raining for like 2 weeks.
Shows you what a decent year we've had when we're surprised at that.
Well,
usually it rains every fucking day and that's the end of it.
I know,
you just take it for granted.
It's maybe another deeper discussion though why it's not raining as much.
It's
been quite hot at the end of fucking November.
I know, it's weird, eh?
It's not really that normal to be fair.
Nah, it's not been cold, but that's one thing I'll say. I've still got my window open.
Well, I go mushroom picking and it was like, normally the frost hits at the end of October. The frost only hit the last couple of days.
No, I can believe it.
Aye. Strange, eh? Aye. So
That's not strange.
What's
it's
your
scientific proof. What's fucking fucked.
What's your theory?
My theory is fucking global warming, mate. There's probably has to be what it is.
Theory is we've been shat on.
I think we've shat on the planet.
No, we've been shat on for that long.
Oh, yeah.
God's went, we'll give Scotland a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. We've actually got the best place for it. We're on the hills. We got
If
we're
it's
not getting too much into global fucking cost of energy and why we're not going climate. We're in Scotland. We've got water. We've got soft water. Where that will in the next 10-20 years be the new oil.
Generally, if it is just what humans have done, we've done it in 100 years, That's nuts,
Yeah. Is that what it is? Is that only until?
Well, we've only polluted for 100 years, We were on horses, and I mean, we had a wee bit of fires burning in villages, but there wasn't much population on the planet. So, in 100 years,
Then people will say,
done
you've had ice ages, you've had radioactive heat back in that, and everything changes.
It naturally melts in that, and it freezes again. I think. I'm not an expert on that, but I think we will have another ice age.
It's crazy. I remember reading something years ago that said every ice age wipes out 90% of the planet's life, animals, and everything. Right? So then there's only 10% left. Then another one comes, only 10% left, only 10% left, only 10% left. That's us now. Think how much shit would have been there before the first one.
Well, I think there was like
honestly, 90% of that and then 90% of that. It is crazy to think how much life in that would have been on a planet back then.
That's nature's way of getting rid of the overpopulation. I mean, because you can't have too many of everything on the planet. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. The resetting.
Everything multiplies fast, Not just humans, everything. So
I think there's 8.5 billion or something is on the planet now. Is that last I heard?
Maybe registered.
And who knows, undocumented. You know what I mean?
I was just back from Romania in Bucharest, and they said that capital city has like 4 million or 3.5 million or something, or walking about. That must be registered because the amount of homeless there as well.
Far more than that.
It's just like you're like fucking. This is much bigger than that. The amount of cars going past you, just going to the airport took like 3 hours in the rush hour, and they're saying this is only 3 million people.
Well, you're not got to take anybody's word for anything these days anyway. This is the case, and you just go, because you don't lie about nothing else, do you? So we fucking will believe that.
I mean, if it says it on TV, then you can, you're sorted.
Of course, mate. Fuck, why question that?
Why are you laughing?
Well, even TV anymore, it's the internet now. I researched this and it said on the internet, oh well then, fucking hell.
Well, that's the thing, because everyone goes on the internet, apparently papers aren't even making money anymore. In printed form. They only make money when they've got their paywalls.
Right.
And the adverts on their sites when you read in and they've got an advert and then you read and they've got an advert. That's how they make their money.
So we're saving the trees is what you're saying?
No, but well, they're not even saving the trees. Well, it's all recycled paper, so that's not too bad. But no one's fucking buying it. No one's buying it. They're running at a loss. But the reason why, that makes Shank as well. Why do they run at a loss to give you information? They're not making money off that and they're still punting it out. That makes you maybe think, okay. Actually losing money to give you information. Fair enough. Fair enough.
These days, man, it's like folk are getting banned off Facebook for saying something that they shouldn't have said. They're like 30-day bans and that.
Is that still? I've not been on Facebook.
I think it's got
worse. Banned for being stupid enough to go in the fucking first place.
This boy's never been on social media.
I know. Again.
Nonsense.
I'm only on Twitter, and that's getting done now. It looks like I won't be on it anymore. You have to get me by email.
It's like my main reason I'm on it is for like pushing the podcast now, really, but it was always for music and all that, to push your music. And Mog's never fucking been on it, and he's one of the most known fucking names in the scene.
That's the thing,
I seen a wit, nah, I mean 30 people.
That's what you're saying.
30 people know my name.
Shit, man, he just made me realise.
No wonder I'm still skint.
That's the thing. Well, we give too much for free, I've noticed. Like you mentioned the numbers before. Since this boy started recording more at mine, and we were just punting you. I never used the YouTube for years. I just kind of forgot about it. I started putting everything on Spotify, forgetting YouTube is a good place to put music. A lot of people just play tunes on YouTube. I completely forgot. So he just came up and he was like, "Put that tune on YouTube. Put that Started actually going, "Fuck, I need to use the YouTube again." Deeko started like going, "We need to put more on YouTube." Now Deeko's punting more tunes than that. So, So. You're talking about plays and stuff. He's the one that made me get back on actually doing that YouTube. That Scotland YouTube is probably going to die.
That's somebody contacting you to come up.
Some of the.
No, it's just my dad saying he's going 1-1 Wales USA.
Already?
No, he's saying that's what he's going to do.
Oh, right, I was like, that's a game we can start.
No, my dad's a gambler. He's a poker player and he's always doing the bet.
Yeah, 1-1's a decent That's a decent bet.
Your dad will probably watch this, man. Does he not catch up on these?
Oh, he's a good guy, man. He's always
shout out to your dad.
That's a good thing. Like I've got a supportive parent there. That's pretty cool. He's
a
always
big shout out
on
to
Twitter. Aye,
he's
I
on
see him on
Twitter. He's
Twitter.
always
Eh?
like repeating me. Like it's funny that.
Is it George? No.
George.
Aye.
It's usually any
time
time we're sitting here watching the football, whether like you were watching a stream that was lagging, you're like, fuck, I need to stop looking at my dad's text. You're 1-0 and he's like, bastard, man. The goal's not happened yet.
My dad and my brother always text me like, what a fucking goal, and I'm like, yes. A minute later, got it.
Remember when Andy Murray won Wimbledon? I was living down at Haymarket in a flat and we were watching it on some. We had a big projector in the living room, but the stream must have been shit. And I could hear down the stair about 30 seconds before everything happened. We could hear, hey, and we're sitting there going, fuck, we need to go out, we need to get the fuck out of here, because we were seeing everything too late. So we ended up going down to the big screen on Lothian Road where the bank is. They used to have the big massive screen, it would just show like
I actually went to the Brewdog bar there after work
just that
to watch
Brewdog,
for the Andy Murray thing. We ended up down there just because in our house we were getting everything spoiled for us, because the downstairs neighbours were telling us what had happened 30 seconds earlier. So we hear them cheering and they're going, oh, and I'm going, fuck, I'm getting out of here.
That's the only time they've used that screen, eh?
I think they just put it on because he was in the final. But literally we went out,
use it more, though.
we tried to find a pub, mate, and everywhere was stowed. You couldn't get in anywhere, and we'd just be happy to go to Lothian Road and see, oh, it's on the big screen, we'll just stand here and have a couple of beers outside, you know what I mean, and watch it.
Edinburgh likes his tennis, eh?
Fuck aye.
It's like the rugby.
I used to love tennis, man. I was actually in the 90s and that, early 2000s. I thought tennis was brilliant. I used to always watch Wimbledon.
I was never into it, but my granny fucking loved it. Like she always loved Henny Henman just because she was a bit. She found like she died before Andy Murray was a thing. See if she knew that Andy Murray was.
She'd have been over the moon.
Honestly, that wouldn't. She would have probably fucking had a heart attack. You know what I mean? But no, that's crazy. I never thought a Scottish player would be.
Nah, probably no.
How many tennis courts do you see about Scotland?
I know.
Although he grew up in Spain, so fair enough.
Oh, did he?
Aye, after Dunblane he fucked off.
Oh, is that where he was fae?
He was at that school.
Oh, was he at the time?
At that school.
Holy shit.
At the time, eh?
Have a Google if you don't know about Dunblane and 90s, 80s?
Sure.
I don't know.
No, 93, 94 or something.
Aye, fucking situation.
Early to mid 90s, it was running about that point.
Most people should know about Dunblane, aye, but if not, Google the Dunblane.
But you'll also notice
not sure what it was titled as.
Well,
the
Dunblane.
Dunblane.
There's a 50-year injunction as well.
Is it a massacre or something? I don't know what they call it.
That's how the gun laws changed in this country.
It was a school shooting.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Scotland was never known for everybody running about with guns anyway, not to the degree that other countries are.
Aye.
But that changed all the gun laws. That was a school shooting in Scotland was a bit of a fucking thing at the time, you know what I mean? Expect that for America, but that was way before, no way before, but it was a good few years before Columbine and all that. That was before, you know what I mean?
Don't want to get too into it, but I think there's a wee bit more to it, because do you know it's got a 50-year injunction on the investigation, on the police reports?
But they can't release it.
They're all blacked up.
Right. Is that not just a standard thing?
No, I think because the guy that was the shooter, he was the gunsman for the Royal Groundskeeping bit or something, or the shooting ranges with the Royals practised often.
So certain things they don't release these things until everybody involved's dead.
Well, that's the thing. There's been police constables said that it needs to be blacked out until people are dead and people are gone, because it's in and the weird thing is, this is fact, I'm not making this up, this is it's sealed for 50 years on national security, right, on something like that. The investigation is all black tape, like all of it.
Fair enough. You never know, maybe there's a good reason, or maybe it's a lot of shit.
You never know with these fucking things, man.
I know it changed the gun laws drastically.
Yeah. But who has a gun in Scotland?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even at that point in time, it wasn't as if everybody was running about with them, and then suddenly that changed it.
It made the penalties higher, eh? Like jail sentences higher.
Sentences were higher, and I think they made it in some way harder to get them, because I think at one point in time you could legally.
It was 5 years ago they cancelled air guns as well. Because my brother had an air gun, he shot rabbits and
that was even longer than
camping
that,
and
wasn't it?
Cooking rabbits and shit. But he doesn't do that anymore. He got sent paperwork like that, and he was like, "Nah, destroy this gun."
Let's be honest, but if there's one country in the world you don't want getting a holiday a bunch of guns, it's country over here. You imagine that? Imagine a bunch of alkies and junkies walking about the way they do in America. It's got gun crime in America. Don't get me wrong, of course it's fucked up. You see like Chicago and places like 300 cunts are getting shot over a weekend. But I see if that was in our country, mate, we take things to the extreme.
Well, America,
we take addiction to the extreme. We take everything to the extreme. So you give everybody your here a gun and be nobody left. Honestly, I'd just be like, I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't fucking boom, cunt shooting their law when they have an argument with them.
Well, the other thing is,
that's the way it would be, man.
Bro, the other thing is as well is people are quite depressed here. if they had easy access to a gun right there, you know,
Boom.
Oh, no
Suicide.
way.
they wake up the next morning, they've been wanted to done it, and they're fucking.
Everything
Yeah,
went by, aye.
So I'm saying the Americans are
guns
actually
to fuck.
quite reserved when you realise the amount of guns they've got, and I don't
I
get
should
me wrong,
have
I
one,
know it's brutal out there, and there's all sorts of craziness that goes on, but again I just think the level, if everybody the way it goes out there, if every cunt could just get a gun like that, I don't think there'd be any of us left.
Reminds me of
Aye,
the
aye.
Chris
I really
Rock
don't.
stand up. Remember the Chris Rock stand up where he says all bullets should cost $1,000.
Aye.
Then you know he deserved it. You know what I mean?
Crazy, aye.
But
Plan on taking your cell out, you need to save up for a year.
Aye,
yeah,
aye.
exactly. I had to
May have
take
changed your
out-
mind
I had to
by
take
that
out a
point in
loan,
time.
put my whole family in debt to do it. Maybe I shouldn't.
Aye, maybe I should just persevere and go on.
Yeah.
I used to do work for a boy, and his saying used to be it's only 50p a bullet or something. Kind of if I wasn't like paying him on time or something like that.
Oh, right.
He's like,
I thought you were serious now.
it's only
But
50.
just as a turn
So
I'll
where's he
get-
getting these bullets
I'll get
from?
that cash over to you next week, eh? Like, it's only 50p a bullet. Fuck. I was like, where are you getting your bullets?
Cheaper for a funeral than a wedding.
Aye.
I like those old wee phrases though. I always like when cunts have just got change and they go, I just got shrapnel, mate.
Aye, strong.
That's a good
Aye,
one,
man.
Those old wee things.
Broke as a joke.
Because I remember being really like young, being like 6 or 7 year old and hearing it for the first time and going, what? Like, shrapnel, I thought he'd been shot in the leg. It's like, what?
Ah, right, aye.
We
aye.
used to call it smash. Just call it that as well,
Aye.
smash.
Wonder where it came from, the
Well, no.
shrapnel.
I just
With the,
smash the
why?
shrapnel,
Where
just
did it come war
change.
times? The name.
always change. I was always at the arcades, you just called it fucking
Change.
change.
Aye.
aye.
So that smash, I don't know if that's a Glasgow thing. Did you call it smash?
Nah, I've heard it though, eh?
So I just got a
Maybe
bunch
it
of
is a
smash in my
Glasgow thing,
pocket.
eh?
Aye.
Aye.
Shrapnel.
Smash, aye. Change. Pennies.
I loved the fucking arcade, man. In Glasgow, you call them puggies, eh?
Aye. But only the no any arcade, only the ones that you.
No, I know what you
Yeah.
mean, I know. But here, me and Deeko always called them bandits. But
Right.
I wasn't sure if that was a Porty thing or an Edinburgh thing.
Right.
We always called them bandits because they'd rob you.
And what did you
Aye,
call
One
them?
too. Puggies.
Puggies. Oh no, Leafers called them puggies as well.
Puggies as well.
I always called them bandits. Maybe it was
Aye,
a
aye.
Porty thing, eh?
Bandits and puggies, eh?
You know what I think it's weird? I've been here for that long now that I'll say things and I don't remember where it comes from. But I'll say something to somebody down the road if I'm on the phone and they'll go, "Oh, how's you talking like through
How
there?"
long are you in Edinburgh now?
12 and a half years.
Fucking
Nearly
hell.
13 actually.
Crazy, eh?
Aye, but
You picked up a accent, eh?
oh aye,
Yeah,
but
like it.
the first thing to go is your tone. Because I found out when I came here that I had to relearn English pretty much. Because I didn't just come for posh speaking Glasgow. I came for where I stayed. There's a dialect. I know, you wouldn't believe it, you know. But there's a dialect even just in the tiny wee area that I come from that if you go too far away from it, can't suddenly go and understand what you're saying. So I had to totally relearn and reshape because I just got sick of repeating myself until I eventually had to spell it out properly. And I went right, and I can't have this if I'm going to stay here. So I had to sort of change it all. But I'm at a point now where I've been here for so long I forget what's ours for back home and what's for here. Because I'll say something to somebody down the road and they'll go, "Oh yeah, you saying that word?" And I'm going, is that not one of ours? And they go, "No, that's not one of ours." And I'm like, "Oh fuck."
See, I might not
I
notice
don't
as
remember
much.
what's.
I didn't ken,
I
that's
don't
not
remember
my
what's
way.
what anymore. Know what I mean?
I don't know, I might not notice as much because my dad family's from Drumchapel. Like, I moved to Edinburgh, but I've never fucking noticed you saying different slang, really.
Maybe no.
Maybe sometimes.
Or maybe just because
Maybe,
you
but
know me
Leaf-
and you're used to
Leafs-
how I talk.
Aye,
so.
that's true. I know, I've known you for.
Glaswegians say lit a lot, don't they? Lit.
Like us like that.
Lit.
Like us like that.
Lit. Aye. Lit. Lit. I'm not going to be doing that. Lit. It's not funny.
Wayne's is a Glasgow
Really?
word.
Wayne's. Aye, I used to say Burns.
We see Burns here.
Burns, aye, Wayne's.
Aye,
Burns.
Wayne's and Burns. It took me fucking years as I was a wee laddie to figure out why we say Ouija's.
Even that, laddie, we don't say that.
Laddie.
No,
Aye, aye.
don't say
What do you
laddie.
say?
Laddies, laddies and lassies, no?
No.
No.
Say lassies, don't say laddies.
Didn't see
Oh,
laddies.
right.
Ah, that's interesting.
So through here I always hear cause
just
look at him, he's a big
boys,
laddie
eh?
and I'm like, at first it was weird to me to hear that, know what I mean?
It's
So,
just boy, boys.
aye, big
wee
boy.
Aye,
Boy.
aye,
No,
wee
no boy, you know what I mean? So.
Big man, wee man, that's a Glasgow thing.
Aye, big man, wee man, aye, big chap, wee chap.
Aye, big man and wee
The
man.
wee barra.
But you can even be being polite to someone that's fucking bigger than you and having an argument going, alright, wee man. And they go, who you calling wee man?
Aye, if
Like,
you try to piss some
it's
cunt
like
off.
it's like, I'm going to text
Or if it's somebody weirder than you say big man just as a
To
laugh
mix them
sort
up
of
a wee
thing,
bit too
aye,
sometimes,
big man,
eh?
know what I mean? Because
Aye, aye.
he fucking half your
So
height.
that's a bit like seeing what maybe growing up, maybe it's not actually a thing, but see if you call someone pal, that was going, alright pal.
It depends the tone. It's all to do with
Aye,
tone
aye.
and all.
But Glasgow,
I know,
they say
but I've
pal a
noticed
lot.
that-
You
in
get
a
here
friendly
pal
way.
and you go, oh here we fucking
Well, there you go,
know what I mean?
exactly, aye.
One of
plus
my work
ways,
that
eh?
stays in the Highlands and he just says pal was normal. But see if that was an Edinburgh guy going, hey pal, and I was like, you're younger than me, you shouldn't, it's, do you know what I mean?
Or like lassies, boys down the road will call lassies pal, and I don't know if you're doing that here as well.
I think it's maybe an age thing as well though.
Sometimes I feel like with buddy as well, the way when somebody calls you buddy.
Hey little buddy.
I think
we usually say bud, I think.
I think
buddy,
bud
but
sounds better. Alright, bud sounds alright, bud.
Buddy.
But
Buddy sounds American.
Buddy sounds like
buddy,
buddy.
Canadian.
Canadian.
You know, like South Park.
Right,
hey buddy.
Hey buddy.
Fucking love Canada. I've got Canadian cousins.
I was just telling you about that show, fucking Letterkenny.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
What a show. Honestly, if you've never seen Letterkenny, you need to watch it. The
that's
pattern
what you were
in
just
it's
playing,
fucking immaculate, man. It's just the banter on the back and forward, they just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? If you like Patter, you'll love that show.
Yeah, I watched that wee fucking clip and I thought it looks like Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right, actually, I've never
Which
seen
you've not
that.
watched, so you didn't get the reference. But it looks like it's part improv, just like these guys doing what they find funny.
Aye.
And then if you find it funny, fair enough. But that's the best thing about these cult sort of things. When they're not trying to make it funny for
they're almost a bit strange
when
sometimes.
They just make what they laugh at and they fucking end up having to do cuts and go, I can't do it. Like, if it makes you laugh, then that's what they put out.
Well, you end up getting your ear tuned to the way they talk, you know. So
That's what I was
first time
gonna
you
say,
watch it,
also-
the fuck are these cunts talking about? And then after a few episodes, you go, I know what that means.
You
now,
literally played one there now, and they made like a few jokes, and it was funny. And then the next time they made similar jokes, it was more funny. And then by the end, they were making similar types of jokes, and I was like pissing myself laughing.
You're
Like,
tuned to it.
aye.
But that's the thing about things like that as well. After you watch a couple of episodes, you get their character, you relate to them, you see that. So a couple of more things makes you connected.
It's even like hip hop. See, when you first listen to hip hop, you don't even know what a 9 or a 6/4 was or nothing like that. Then you get interested by hearing it, and you go, "What the fuck does this all mean?" And you eventually sort of. So I think it's the same with Scottish part. Like a lot of cunts wouldn't know what the fuck we're talking about. But if they go invested in it, now whether it was a TV show or whether it was music or whatever,
it's like anything, eh? It's like Americans
the world's
say
sick of the average,
No,
your
I
average
find
British, your average American part. Now they want to go somewhere else to find out something else because you've been dealing with that for years and years now.
But having your own speech is important though. I remember seeing this thing that made me laugh on Twitter. Some guy was saying, right, I'm not letting the kids listen to Peppa Pig anymore because they've started speaking in English accents. Kind of going, mummy, and it was like, nah, get off. But it's not a bad thing. But losing dialect, like you probably get a lot of kids watching things now and using American slang.
Totally.
When they're young,
they blood. I've seen it in grime and hip hop here.
But even when they're like really wee, they just adapt what they hear at TV.
Well, do you know the difference is when we were young, you never had constant entertainment in front of you. You watch a TV how many hours out a day? Now everything's phone, entertainment, constantly entertain me, constantly watching things instead of just having to live life without that.
And
which
sadly,
means
not many of those entertainers are Scottish.
Well, none of them. Fuck's sake, how many
you know?
English
and American
especially what Wayne's watch. They're not watching Scottish people entertain them, so they're hearing. Normally, you'd hear your ma, your dad, your mates. All the time, so you'd adapt to their dialects and their dialogues, which is why some things might just completely die out over time.
And they get fucking
go away.
And when they get on mainstream,
all the dialects are going to melt away over.
Exactly.
I think it's going to take a long time, 100 years. But
they go on TV, they tell them to calm them down, and people naturally like.
It'll be more universal because we want everybody to watch us.
I think we're going to travel more in the future, eh? So this is just the beginning, eh? So I think in the future we're going to look back and go, can you believe how like wound up folk are about you coming to my country and me going to your country? Because in 100 years from now, I reckon we're going to be living everywhere, and like wherever you fancy living.
But do you really want, language-wise? I don't mean people go to different people's countries, but do you really want one global language?
No, I don't know. That's the weird thing.
You want the individualism. You don't want everybody to end up the same.
That's what I'm saying. From all that travelling, it's going to, isn't it?
You don't want our rural accents and all the traditionalism for where we come from just dying out.
They'll still have tweaks, eh? So like if everything rounds off and we all travel and mingle, but over in India, we may all end up speaking English over the whole world, but people in India maybe have a slight different accent, just like Scotland and England, and you know, and people.
It's like you hear a Jamaican talking English, they're still talking English, can't understand a fucking word.
At the end of the day, I bet you've got a phone voice. I bet if the phone went right now and you didn't know the number, you'd be like, "Hello, Drew speaking."
Yeah.
Hi, how can I help? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Could you phone back? I understand. Right. If my work phone,
it comes from having jobs where you've had to do
that's
that.
just because I've got a fucking job.
No, but me too. I've always worked in places where you need to go, hello, such and such a place, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But if you've never had to deal with that in your life, if you've just lived in a tenement somewhere and the scheme your whole life, doesn't matter who phones you, you're like, it ain't happening. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
I mean, it's like faking yourself. It's different situations, but when you like navigate the world, you need to be able to navigate with those sort of people and those sort of people, and be able to like communicate with them basically.
Knowledge is power. If you can't be a chameleon to a certain extent, then you're not going to get far. You know what I mean? Unless you're in the one place where you've got.
You can only fit in the one scene, but if if you're in a great scene, then you wouldn't bother about it. But
maybe. I mean, where I came from, like I said, small place, rural accent. That was all I ever known until I came here. And when I came here, I'm like, holy shit, it's not just Edinburgh people. It's comes from fucking China and Spain and Australia anyway. So that's how I was talking about earlier, adjusting the accent. It wasn't just to people on this side of the country. It's people from all over the world, because this is an international city. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was good for me to sort of relearn how to communicate with anybody from anywhere.
You probably don't learn all that till later in life, eh? You're 40 now. And I'm the same. When I was 15, I spoke the same way to the dude in the street as I did to the posh lady up the road, because I was only 15, eh? Alright, sorry missus, kind of like, alright, and you just had the one tone. And now I'm 40, I ken how to speak to him and how to speak to her, and in order for it to work out my way, basically. Like,
it's good for you, man.
Aye. If you need to go and speak to a boss about something, eh? You need to switch on your knowledge for a minute, eh? Switch on your intellect and that to show that you're not stupid.
Totally. Like, in rural areas, they see that as selling out.
Aye, that's what I was
just
trying to say. It's
expanding
like
your horizons
faking.
and adapting to the world. If you happen to be somewhere where no everybody's the same, if you're somewhere where everybody's the same, that's sort of that's the currency down there. You need to be the same as everybody else, or else you stand out. And if you stand out in a small place,
it's a shame for. I mean, it's.
I remember I went to my ex's, like years and years ago. I remember getting off the bus going home, and wearing a shirt because I came back from the office, and some cop was like, "You fucking wearing a shirt for? why you in Port Beth? Like wearing a shirt?" I'm saying, "It's fucking finished work. I'm going to see my missus." Fucking look at you. I was like, fuck off. I walked away like, I was like, what the fuck was that? Just because I was wearing a shirt. Ken got off the bus fucking after the day, Ken. But it does. Some areas are like that.
Aye.
Like it wasn't like he was going to fucking start. He just looked at me and going, "Why are you in a fucking shirt here, you prick?"
Do you not know where you are? We don't wear shirts down here.
Aye.
So it's a double-edged sword there.
Sometimes,
we're talking about you don't want everything to be too global, but you also don't want everything to be too rural either. You need to find that sort of happy medium.
Aye. I mean, as I was saying, you sort of bend yourself in those ways, eh? But I do hate like watching the TV and you're watching like BBC News, and it suddenly hits you and you go, "What is that? Like female TV presenter Scottish?" You start listening, you go, "She's Scottish, eh?" And it takes you that long to actually realise, wow. And I'm not slagging her, I'm slagging the whole situation that she's had to like Englishize her accent to get the job.
Yeah.
Like basically, she knew she did. They didn't tell her to do it. No one, like, she's done it herself. She knows, like, if I adapt my voice a bit more like theirs, more likely I'll get a job in the TV station.
She's been told that.
Aye.
And by the way, see if you dye your hair and wear a shorter skirt, then same thing.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's no different.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do to get ahead in your field, then if they tell you that, then you'll do it.
I'm not really slagging her, it's the whole situation, eh?
Fuck aye, mate. It's always going to be like that. It's always has been like that, actually. That's not even some new thing because entertainment's became huge. It's always been like that. Look the right way, act the right way in your right surroundings, and you get further.
Well, I've just spied that we're hitting our
time,
eh? No, it seems alright. It's not died yet, man.
Good. I think I've had too much, mate. I'll keep talking shit. If we keep going, I'll keep talking shit.
We're going to have a wee break, play some tracks. We'll hopefully get some tracks from Word or Mog or ST if it turns up later, or there'll be some music on just now. We'll be back in a wee minute. Peace.
1 2 1 2. I've got the antidote, the potent marijuana smoke. A pad of notes, a frozen can of coke and a pyjama coat. I just get smashed and gloat, lays about and laugh and joke with loads of para folk who're sitting toting on a bar of soap. My life's a master stroke, used to have a grafter's job. Now I deal in cash and every note's been used to hammer snow. Avoiding cameras, no, it's easy to get captured, bro. For every gram of grass you grow, there'll be a grass that wants to know. This place is overrun with polish and the lowest scum. Those who get a hold of guns will aim them at your dome for fun. Stay off the corner, son, enjoy your life before it's done. Pays to be the sober one when everybody's going dumb. I've got the 411 on every gram of coke they've slung on. Every cunt they've roped and hung and every bird they've poked and tongued. Smoke hits my choking lungs, focus when I'm low on funds. Up before the sun, holding a bucket and a soap and sponge. Swimming in needle soup, sitting on some beetle juice. I'm evil proof, name carved into bleeding wood. Keep your ear down to the ground and you can hear the hoofs. Something's rising out the dirt, can you feel the push? The screaming moves have lost their flavour due to frequent use. They're either speaking needless news or gain the weak abuse. So let's no beat about the bush, set your demons loose. Grieving youth, breathing out the truth while the people shush. I'm a grafter, scumbag, bastard, planning on a happy ever after. Plaster, cash snatcher, grab what I'm after, and into the last chapter. I'm a grafter, scumbag, bastard, planning on a happy ever after. Plaster, cash snatcher, grab what I'm after, and into the last chapter. I'm a grafter. The setting's grey and dark, but lights illuminate the park. I'm pacing to the racing beat in my achy breaky heart. I'm where the railings start and closely separate apart. Exposed out in the open, swapping pay for blocks of Asian tart. Out the back of a Mercedes car, just me and some mad nutter with a facial scar that's done 1,000 days in bar. Don't need to take it far, still I scout away to dart. I back up just in case I march into forbidden shady parts. Don't really know the place, so I get gone and go with haste. Praying I don't see Polish plates, out my nut on coat and paste. Running a hopeless race, got a sentence on my waist. Turn my phone to silent because everybody's on my case. I hit the home straight, I've been tempting more than fate. Now I'm only doors away for sitting, smoking potent grade. Bliss as I approach my gate, open it, stroll my way into my home and say I'm on a mission to get overpaid. Picture me working in a shop, what a fucking joke. I'm in the kitchen cutting coke while I'm puffing smoke. Burning soap, we got a folk, here have a toke. Southern hope, pure mucker road, the mother load. Feed here to Govan Road, every cunt is trouble, knows the way the world goes. We only live and be a fucking code, nobody runs the show. And so I'm out to take as much as I can hold before it's time to bite the dust and go. I'm a grafter, scumbag, bastard, planning on a happy ever after. Plaster, cash snatcher, grab what I'm after, and into the last chapter. I'm a grafter, scumbag, bastard, planning on a happy ever after. Plaster, cash snatcher, grab what I'm after, and into the last chapter. I'm a grafter.
Right guys, that's us back. We've got two additions in the room.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, hey.
Hey, we've got Deeko and we've got ST, Mr. Mackenzie.
How we doing, guys?
Good man, good. So
Hi YouTube, hi Riddler.
Oh, hey, yes. So we're back at it. Like, I liked that wee chat we were having on the break a minute ago about the effect COVID's had on the scene and that.
Aye.
What were we chatting about there, Word?
I couldn't even remember what we're talking about. I've had maybe too many whiskies, to be honest.
Word's been on the whiskies and that.
When we were off camera there, we were just saying COVID. It did fuck the scene, but it changed it in ways. So a lot of people like Deeko.
I got a bit of writing done.
This boy was doing fuck all.
Alright, man.
You were doing nothing.
Nah, I wasn't doing that much.
Then
but
COVID hit,
I was like, let's get an album done.
Whole
And then we got the
album,
video done. I think, did we do the video on lockdown or? I don't
No,
know.
that was just after when we were allowed to do it.
Aye, but that was we got the video shot with Mark. You were in one of the videos as well.
That's what I was saying, that some folk like it made them almost quit, and some folk it made them start
motivates
again,
like fuck. I've got all this fucking time.
There was definitely a surge of new artists who had time on their hands, and got equipment. Do you know what I mean? Equipment's easier than ever. It's easier than it's ever been. All the new MP3s and stuff.
Like a mic to Steve.
But there was definitely. Well, you see it on. Look, there's so many new artists, like even just hip hop, singing and all that kind. Glasgow and Edinburgh,
Aye.
Who was it? There was folk who've won awards and all that. Can you be on Facebook? Kind of, there's folk you've not even heard of, but they've achieved a lot because they're winning their own awards in their scene. So it shows you that there is more than just the underground scene that.
There's whole new names now. I don't recognise a lot of the names but
it's so good that people can just get a mic, get Cubase or FL Studios or whatever, and just can do it though. It's crazy. And COVID fucked a lot of people with gigs. That's a bastard true. To be fair, but
aye.
I've seen that increase in people recording, as you're saying.
suppose then it's I never thought about that. Like,
There
that
was
would
no
have had
battle event.
effect.
There was no battle events.
Aye,
There was like
doing live music's a very, very important part of making music. You know what I mean? Definitely. So it's like.
that's
would-
true.
that
There could
would
be
be-
some people
yeah.
that try and do a gig now and they've not worked up breath control because they've just done the whole.
That's it.
Aye.
There's
I suppose.
there's no trenches to be in. Like,
Well,
do you know what I
some
mean?
people
True,
just
true.
making music for the live show. They literally live for doing live music, So when
Aye.
they couldn't do the live music,
That's where you
They
sharpen
weren't
your
really
shit as well.
interested, eh?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's really where you learn about breath control and
Aye.
stuff, Ken. It's one thing doing a tune, but doing it live, performing it live, do you know what I mean?
And slightly louder as well because you're always wanting to shout that a bit when you're doing it live.
I don't think you've got the same rules that you used to, but I remember we had all these sort of unwritten rules like, well, you shouldn't do it if you can't do it live, and if you can't do it in one take, that's not really like that anymore.
Nah, okay.
Music's changed a bit now to the point where it's just look, if you are able to do anything, then do it.
But I hate seeing that. I hate seeing people playing vocals on their tunes though.
But that's my point. When the fuck would you ever have seen some
That's
cunt on a
embarrassing.
phone or somebody with the lyrics playing behind them and on stage, man?
That's
You'd have
embarrassing.
walked out if you saw somebody doing it.
I'm
But times change and the rules change. And, I'm
Does
saying
it?
the rules. There isn't any rules anymore, so it's just
No, that's it.
have at it and do what you want. And the audience has changed enough because now you've got young people who don't care about it. Like the audience in the past would have cared about it. They'd have been hip hop heads who
Would have
went,
known.
this is
I
nonsense.
guess it's what the audience
You know
likes.
what I
eh?
mean? So your youngsters now
where
don't care.
does they think the rules have changed? You just think they've got their own rules? Is that more like what
Oh
you
no, I mean,
made
no,
their
I
own
guess
rules?
that's. It's always good to make your own rules, but at the end of the day, if you're live and on the mic, you shouldn't. You should have your backing track, maybe a hype man to do your last words if you run out of breath, Ken. But you shouldn't have your whole song fucking playing in the background.
Can.
I mean, I'm not directing this. I'm not directing this to anyone. I'm just saying this in general. But I wasn't really familiar with a lot of people doing that.
It
I've seen it
sounds
once
shit.
or twice, but it does sound shit,
do-
and it
it
just
does,
seems
eh?
lazy to me.
Aye, but it's
Like-
it actually it sounds. I'm not going to say who it was. Can't even mind their name. But we saw a live gig after the battles, and she done the track she done. She killed it, like but she had a few where her lyrics were also on it. And it just to listen to it just wasn't the same. It was hard to listen to because there was so much going on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then it's always good when you get like, because I remember when I was doing Drive It Like It's Stolen, and me and Jordan done a set for a while, but we just knew that I would go drive it like it's fucking stolen, pump the tunes, windows open. By this time I was running out of breath, and then he would go drive it like it's fucking stolen. Then I would catch my breath to then do the 3 bars
You
again,
had to
full
learn that
volume,
stuff, eh?
and then he would do the drive it like it's fucking and just having that hype man there. But I understand sometimes leaving a couple bars in, maybe if you didn't have a hype man, but to just honestly, I don't want to say names either, but I was at a festival
Say names.
and someone played their whole thing. They played their whole
Yeah,
thing
this track with
they just played their songs. They just played their songs
What, and rapped over them or
and
something?
just rapped over them.
Who was
But
that?
mostly they were just talking and pointing at their mates and shouting while the songs were
sync.
playing.
There's fishing there, ain't you? Say the names. Goddamn fuck.
It happens, bro. It happens. We've been in this long time.
Who does it happen to?
Then I'll tell you who it happens to. It happened. I'm sure it was Beyonce. Like,
Oh, come on, don't diss me.
No, I'm not dissing her. I'm not
Jay-Z
dissing
might
her.
watch this.
Well,
What the fuck?
Deeko's about to get upset now.
I'll never get that Jay-Z feature.
Well, I'm about to mention someone more legendary. It's fucking.
Not Kelly Rowland.
No. Prince.
Prince?
Prince was having a dig, subliminal dig. I'm sure it was at Beyonce, and he's like, you know, he's basically doing all this like funny faces, like, because he's just a wee guy in that. Like, hey, this is like quite no long before he died. Like, hey, but he was having a go at her for having backup vocals on her live performances. He's like, that, Ken, we don't do that. Real artists don't do that.
Prince
Always
is
Prince,
Prince
hey,
is the
like,
best, to be fair.
Well, that's I think people might be mistaken for thinking we're just talking about cunts in Scotland who are amateurs.
Oh,
doing
no.
that. That's no.
No.
The stuff. That's what I'm talking about. A whole different generation now who just grew up watching people on the internet doing it, and their heroes who are making millions are doing that shit. So obviously they think, well, if it's good enough for them. Why am I? That's what I'm saying about
Exactly.
rules. Why am I going to hold myself to a certain standard
Yeah.
if the people who are making millions that I looked up to don't? Know what I mean?
To be fair though, late 80s, early 90s on Top of the Pops was pretty bad.
For the lip sync.
Completely lip synced.
yeah.
You weren't allowed to. You had to.
And they're
do
dancing
one or
about it
the
as
other.
well. It's like you can't dance and sing.
A lot of
like
80s and 90s artists had people singing the songs that weren't in the videos and weren't in the on Top of the Pops.
aye,
I'm sure there was a
actual
lot of
songs, eh?
80s and 90s artists
you're
where
too
there was
ugly
just
to
a
be in the
dancer
video.
miming
Get a
and
model.
that wasn't the artist.
Great voice and that, but it's for radio. Not
Aye.
Too ugly to have a hit.
I was checking out some old 80s stuff. I didn't even ken that Eddie Murphy sang a song. Did you?
Part of the time, man.
I never knew that. I never even knew that was Eddie Murphy.
I'll wake up to that.
Do you know he only done that
James was
song?
in the video and that,
Do you know he only done that song as a bit?
Aye.
He done it as a bet apparently. Yeah,
Society
I'm
won
pretty sure Richard Pryor bet him that he couldn't do a song.
Oh right, aye.
So he got in touch and
That's
done the
mental.
song. Apparently Richard
He-
Pryor bet him he
He
couldn't
had
do a
a pure
song. So Eddie
voice
Murphy
for
done the song.
voice to be an artist, like because I
Did he
get
make
the
an
tune,
album? Did he make an
classic
album?
80s track.
No,
Is
it
there
was
an
at
album?
number
Is there-
one.
is
I
there-
think
Aye,
he
it was
bet
at
him. You
what?
can't do a number one hit.
No,
And
but
he
did-
released Party of the Time. It was number one hit.
Aye, but did he do a whole album? Because I want to listen to that album.
Nah, surely not. It must be a
Eddie
one-off.
Murphy
Well,
album.
speaking of people doing that and even with the same name, remember Brittany Murphy?
Yes.
Remember her? She had a number one hit and nobody even knew it was her. Until she came out and said, by the way, I'm the person doing the
Sorry,
vocals.
who's-
Pretty
Not
Murphy,
Murphy,
like, she
yeah.
the one that
Was
died.
the actress.
Aye.
She the one that
She plays
yeah.
Baby Laddie in King of the
Died on the
Hill.
back.
She's King of the Hill.
Aye, for
plays
years
Jimmy
and
Laddie.
years. She had a number one song and nobody knew it was her who done the vocal until she came out and said, by the way, that's my vocal.
What's her name?
Aye.
Was that a video?
I can't tell you the name of the song, but if you check it, she definitely had a number one hit.
No, but I'm the band name. I'm not sure. No,
Just check.
no,
just,
Brittany
if you go
Murphy.
online,
She was
it'll-
the Brittany Murphy was the lassie in King of the Hill. The one that's like, oh my god, this sort of yeah.
Oh yeah, she
Right,
was.
I didn't
Yeah, that
She
was
was in Eight
that was
Mile
Brittany
as well.
Murphy,
Aye,
and then
she
she
was
was
in
in Sin City. Remember, she's
Oh, aye.
when Fallen.
Aye.
She was in a
So the
few
most
movies.
famous thing she was in was
She was getting
Clueless.
big at one point, eh?
Yeah,
yeah.
And she
Yeah.
died, eh? Something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
She died in the bathtub, like her.
Aye.
Was it? I don't
Aye,
know.
pretty sad.
The fucking Tommy the Power Ranger died. The White Ranger.
Really?
Oh, he died the same way as well,
Do you
yeah.
remember Tommy the White
I
Ranger?
was never a Power Rangers person, man,
me
so I don't
neither.
know.
I'll lend you the
Too
DVDs.
old.
As if you have me.
So bad, like my
We'll watch it together. We'll wear the suits.
That is funny, there's a slight age gap there, eh? Me and you're too old for Power
That's
Rangers.
true,
eh?
age again?
Yeah.
Well, me too. I'm in that bracket.
Five.
How old are you now, man?
I'm a year younger than you.
A year
like,
younger. Fuck. I
What
always
is your
thought you were a
years?
couple, eh?
You're the same age, yeah.
Aye, 40,
The
aye.
big 4-0.
Maybe I do the same.
Aye. Aye, you're the same as us then, aye.
Just to do it. Clinging on,
Aye, you're
like,
not getting away with it, man. You're the same as us.
38, just downhill from there.
So,
like,
aye, so Power Rangers were a thing when we were growing up. What was the big thing when you were growing up?
Turtles.
The Turtles.
Laurel and
Oh,
Hardy.
the Ninja.
Turtles,
Oh,
eh.
Oh, I watched the
Yeah.
Turtles, the cartoon.
Turtles.
Yeah.
That was class. The original one for the late 80s.
That was
Turtles
fucking
was
brilliant.
massive.
Ghostbusters as well. Was that still it?
Ghostbusters, the real
Ghostbusters was
Ghostbusters.
big, aye.
Thundercats, fucking He-Man.
Thundercats, man.
All that classic 80s shit that sort of bled out into the 90s. You know what I mean?
Aye, aye.
Aye, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the first things when I woke up in the morning.
Man, when I was very young,
Say
it
by
was
the way, that was
Rainbow
the
and
shit
that.
for me. Like, I fucked
Say
it.
that.
Rainbow,
Aye, when you were real Sesame Street, Rainbow and that.
See,
Rainbow.
I didn't.
But I'm
Rainbow was
not
a thing
old
I saw
enough
on,
for the Magic Roundabout. That was before my time. Like.
I don't remember the reruns yet, but
Aye,
before
remember
the
the
time.
it was,
Some
eh?
trippy shit by the
Aye,
way. So if
yeah,
you watch
yeah.
that now, you go, wow, the shit we actually had to get exposed to as
You have to be
babes.
proper old for that.
Fuck
Yeah.
aye. That's
Sorry,
weird.
guys, if you are in that bracket.
It's an old guy going, oh, I'm glad we've got the Magic Roundabout chat. Yes! Finally!
Something we've all got in common.
I see all the comments in that. Fucking
What
yes.
was it? Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock. mind it.
Rock,
See, I
man.
don't know that.
It was a cartoon and it was real. When they went through the wee tunnel, it turned real. That was brilliant.
Do you remember?
Man of Fraggle Rock.
The thing that I remember watching when I was young was it was the Animals of Farthing Wood.
Aye.
Aye, I
Oh,
remember that.
man.
I remember that.
That was something I remember.
These are
Just
bringing
thinking.
back
And that was
flashes,
before.
like-
We're
but
going to watch
that,
all this after we finish.
but that also that
Get educated.
thinking of that, I always get confused because there was that thing.
Words
The
pretending
rabbit
like
one
you didn't
freaked me
watch
out,
them
though.
all this week.
What was the rabbit one? Watership Down.
Aye.
Oh, that was
That's
brilliant.
a
That
old
was
cartoon,
dark.
wasn't it?
That was
graphic,
dark,
man.
though.
It
My
was getting ripped-
my
they were
granny
getting
put that
ripped
on for
apart,
me. Just
wasn't
put it on a can.
I
Just put it on the
remember
video.
that. Aye.
Famous
Just put it
novels,
on.
though.
That was dark with the spinning rabbits having acid trips and shit. I was like, it's only later in life I was like, oh yeah, that was like rabbits having an acid trip. You understood it and like
Go back and
yeah.
watch the fucking Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. All that shit's dark as fuck.
Oh,
Dumbo.
aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
The Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, the original Tin Man died, like, Ken, because they've sprayed him with like silver paint. And like, oh, it's like, did they get what they were doing? Sprayed him with silver
And
paint.
that-
Oh, what? And you had like lung problems.
I had lung problem.
Oh,
respiratory shit and died. Like, and the
No
film
health
still
and
went
safety,
ahead.
that,
Like,
yeah.
they just got
Show must
something
go
else
on.
and done a
Oh,
different
that's
thing.
crazy. That's when I
Crazy.
I work in construction, so there's like, you know, asbestos kills you. They don't put it in buildings anymore.
Of course.
But do you know, the town asbestos, where it comes from, is a mine, and they called the town asbestos in Australia, and that's where they dig asbestos. They were like, no, we're not shutting down. So China keeps giving them work, so they're still shipping it out. and it's still getting made.
What, so you mine asbestos?
Yeah, it's mine.
Wow, I never knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I thought it was a
And where it
crime.
comes
quite
from
sure
is
what
now a town
asbestos
called
is.
asbestos. Because they
You
named
don't
the
want
town
to
after
eat
us.
it.
Right, right.
I've heard it, but
The
like,
hairy
that's
white
crazy.
stuff.
But they still fucking use it.
like,
though.
hairy
Apparently you
white
think it's
insulation.
shut down.
oh,
Still
right,
fucking
right.
making
Well,
this shit.
is it
Kills
not
you.
like flakes of
Use it in insulation,
like fiberglass?
So what kills you then? It's just like
no, it's
Because it's
like
made of
see
fine,
the fibres, aye.
fine
Tiny little
fibres,
neighbours,
like glass.
aye.
So if you
It's
knock a
like
hole in a
hooks,
roof,
though. Like see on a microscopic level, it's like hooks.
Yeah.
Where everything's like just straight. These things
what-
are just straight.
but what
This
they
has
do,
got hooks,
when
so
you-
it
when
actually
you
gets
get it-
into your lungs, like.
but when you get it right, it'll be wrapped in a plastic and it'll be like a board. So you put it as insulation,
So
which
then
is
peop-
fine.
peop-
No one's getting it, right?
Right.
But see if 20 years later some cunt's putting a light in your roof and they knock that, all that fiberglass goes down and they breathe it in and it fucks up, mate. It kills people,
Crazy,
like
right?
it kills
Aye.
you, like it proper.
MDF's no much worse, by the way.
I know.
Honestly,
Like,
MDF
people
by the
should
time
wear-
it disintegrates
All the glue
and
in
all
it,
that,
all
it's
the glue,
the
eh?
same
Aye.
thing.
Yeah, you
It's
need
the
to wear
same
masks
sort
when
of
you're
thing
doing that
on a
work.
sort of like under a microscope. It's like fucking, it's hooks or something. Like,
What is it? Is it medium density fibre board or something like that? Is that what it
It's
stands
like-
for? Or?
Aye, I think so.
Is it something like that?
Aye,
innit?
it's banned in
Aye.
America.
So it's all the same, comes for the same family of stuff, doesn't it, basically? So
Aye,
it's all
got
bad for
glue
you.
in it.
Aye, lots of
because
glue,
it's
eh?
got glue in it.
Aye.
Because when you cut timber, like cut natural timber, unless it's like teak or something like cake, and it's easy to cut. It's no hassle. You're not getting that much. It's a nice smell. You're not
Aye,
fucking
aye.
getting wheezy. As soon as you cut plywood or MDF or something.
Little bits of plastic floating in there.
Funny
Aye,
smell,
you'll
You
notice
just
that.
like
It's just like banging things out in mass produce years ago. What was the thing? Was it Furbies or Beanie Babies or something that they were made with spider eggs?
Aye.
Remember? And they all started
What?
They all started hatching years later.
Fuck off.
Aye, swear to God.
We couldn't have been
Aye.
that like that.
Sorry, Beanie Babies were actually spider eggs.
No, maybe no Beanie Babies, but something along the lines for the 80s or the 90s or something. They were all made with tiny spider eggs, and at some point in time they all started hatching.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
Maybe that's just a rumour, but I remember hearing it and going, oh, fucking hell.
I've seen
Put your
about.
Beanie Baby away.
I had to
seen
get rid of my whole collection, mate.
I've
Even
seen
the blue
a,
one.
no, I
that's
have
my
seen. I have seen about the troll dolls that got banned because they had 3 buttons. They had the button in the front, button in the back, a button in the groin, and when you pushed it, it was like, you shouldn't touch me there. Oh, I like that.
What?
That was a real thing.
was a toy?
That was troll dolls in America. They got fucking pulled off the shelves. That was a real thing. I don't know if it was like some cunt taking the piss in the factory that it pulled down to say this.
Must have
But
been.
there was a fucking button on the groin. And it was like, don't touch me there, you shouldn't touch me there. And then it was like saying things, and then it was like groaning sometimes, and they were like, get these fucking dolls away.
mental.
Don't touch me there. Alright, and do it again.
Keep
That's the thing. Oh, mate.
okay.
What is this toy teaching the kids?
I know. Yeah, it's like, why have you even got a fucking button on a doll there? Like, it was,
No way.
Stop touching me Elmo, is that where they go that? Remember
Maybe
South Park?
something like that.
Remember
Aye,
South
maybe
Park,
it was
they
like a
stop
joke.
touching me Elmo. He's got a toothpaste dispenser and he like pushes his groin and toothpaste comes out and he's like, ah! It's fucking outrageous. But that might be where they go that for you.
maybe,
Fitz.
but it was actually, I'm sure I fucking watched it, I was like, that's weird. A lot of these, yeah, fuck it.
Aye, it's some strange toys like.
And they could put shit under sweep it under the fucking carpet easy back then. Now everyone's fucking on the internet.
Aye, on
for
YouTube,
the
yeah.
You can't get away with nothing now, man.
Nah.
That's how cunts are so fascinated with the past, because everything wasn't regulated. Like young people these days must
can't
be
get
like,
the
what, you
YouTube
can
bit.
actually get away with shit, and you weren't constantly being filmed and photographed and recorded, and you know what I mean? It's a beautiful freedom we had, because all yous are old enough, even though yous are a bit younger, but
Pre-internet.
you're old enough to
Imagine-
remember that. you know what I
Imagine
mean?
honestly now a kid could be skiving school and they go, you weren't at school? Yeah, I was. No, I can tell because your phone was here.
Aye,
And
aye.
thll go, oh fuck.
Tracking phones. That's
My
mad,
iPhone,
eh?
I was down at Porty Arcade. Damn it.
A perfect example, minded, to Scottish boys that pretended to be American rappers.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes of that happening these days, and some country go, that's my next door neighbour. You know what I mean? That would never happen.
Aye, aye.
Can't get away with fuck all anymore.
I can see the point. I can see the point in the safety, but when I first heard somebody had their kid's phone tracked, I was like, you what? I was like,
No, it's for safety. Like.
yeah, but it is good. It's good for safety.
brilliant.
But the first time I heard about it, growing up in a time when you never had that, you went out like, I'm away out. All right, I didn't have a clue where he's gone. He's away
Hope he
out.
comes back.
And then it was like the kids are away out. All right, that's cool. I can see they're just down the road. Like what? That's nuts. But it's
safer.
definitely
It's
good.
safer,
Aye.
like, do you know
I've
what I
got
mean?
I've got my daughter on a watch, and I can track where she's going. Like, but what I'm saying, the first time I realised it, I
But
was
you have
like,
to realise that other people can easily access your watch and do the same. That's what's scary.
technically, aye.
Because hackers could easily
Yep.
get your IP.
But also,
When I was 14, I used to hack PCs and we used to going and control their mouths for a laugh.
Aye.
Like when I was 14, I done that. Like
That's nuts.
You know.
Let's get back into that, man.
Sorry, it was just easy back then. No, it was.
Someone who watched this like, the bastard. I knew it was weird.
What year was that and what was your internet handle?
Big balls, man.
No, I said, honestly.
So did you know who you were hacking into?
Well, no, back in the day there was this thing called Evil Eye software, right? And then it was a simple app, right? But if you sent someone a picture, what you would do is you trace their IP, you go to command center and you go IP trace. So if you were sending them a picture and it was downloaded, they would then get it. But you send them a picture, but you call it JPEG, but it was actually an EXE. So they'd click it and it wouldn't open, and you go, oh, sorry, it didn't open, but you'd already got their IP by that, and now they've got a thing that they double click, which was a Trojan. So now you've just opened that. So now you would just load their PC and you could just go into the documents and go into their files. You could also just TV, but I didn't do shit like that. We just people.
No, of course not.
Honest.
Back then it was just people's fucking shit.
So descriptive.
No, but I'm talking about 14. So what you would do?
I never even used it.
You would just send them to fucking websites. You would just send them to fucking websites for a laugh, or remember that time?
Don't involve me. Remember that time? I don't know what I'm talking about.
It was pretty funny. One of our mates, I'm not going to say his name, his PC was in his living room, so he's on it, and we done it to him when we were, right? And then we were just like fucking gay porn.
Not we.
That was launch. And apparently he was sitting in his living room and it kept coming up and he's like, cancel. Hurricane was going down on the sofa. We just did shit like that.
Was it because it was easy at hacking things back then?
Back then it was
aye.
It was pretty funny.
Probably not even as hard.
But I wasn't doing it, he was doing it.
Harmless shit, you click a button and it's Soldier Boy.
It's not, do you know what? I'm sure there's more apps like that where you just send them a picture, it gives an IP and you access them.
The way Deeko's acting, it sounded like he was pretty good at it too.
No, I didn't know that. I was the crowd. I was like, press this button.
No, like, honestly,
I can't believe he's doing it.
Honestly,
I was a victim, I still can't get rid of the gay porn to this day, honestly.
It was from his own folder, which was weird.
Here's a fucking funny story. I was, right? Like, Nixon, right?
I know who Nixon is, yes.
Right? So back in the day, hacked this boy's PC just for a laugh, just a random person at MSN. It turned out to be this guy, right? That ended up becoming great mates with later in life, right? So one day, years later, we're having a wee joint behind big shits, like, and then he's like, wait, you're not that word that hacked me years ago. And he was like, I was like, you're not. And he was like, aye, and then we just burst up laughing. But honestly, see at the time, he was like, I'm going to fuck it. I made the screen go on Neo, like green, just like, your PC's been hacked, and he was like, fuck off, I'm going to matter you. But then he found out it was me, like at the school, but he was from a different school, he was from Port Ashley Holidays, so it was like meet at a fucking shop for a fight type thing. And then it never fucking happened, and years later we're smoking a joint and we were just laughing, we were like, that's you, eh? And we were like, that's me! And we just laughed and had a great time and became mates. So fucking funny. Aye. That's a weird fucking tangent.
So you were into hacking from a young age, eh?
That's fucking
interview, like
Dr. Hacking it.
Aye. So it's been good having Werden telling us all about his hacking and that today.
Did you make the dark? Was it the dark web? Okay.
How long did it take you to get over the addiction of?
Which one? The hacking or the gay porn?
You ever seen a documentary about Silk Road?
I think I have.
That shit's nuts.
When he got caught in the library.
The way they caught him,
aye,
was just the most primitive thing. He just entered. They went back for like the furthest back search that anybody mentioned Silk Road. Like the very first thing. So obviously, if you want to put these things out there,
the first person to mention it, obviously.
Who's the first? Some detective went. Who's the first person who ever mentioned this? And went back and checked the IP address or whatever it was, and it turned out it was that guy. Now, other than that, he would probably have never been caught. That's genius.
When they caught him, they had to keep the laptop open because apparently he had a trap in it. When he shut, it deleted everything.
Aye.
So like when they caught him in the library, like they made sure like they kept it open because they just deleted the whole thing. He got like a fucking 200 years or something.
That sounds
he's fucked.
He got like fucking so long.
They wanted Trump to pardon him, and I think they want Biden to pardon him now. And the cunts are just like, nah, no chance. Nah, I mean,
they're all back.
Because he was technically guilty for all the crimes, or I don't know what the fuck.
Well, he was sanctioning murders, but they never get carried out. So he wasn't responsible for murders, but he was responsible for thinking they had been carried out in his name. It's just the guy who said he done them was actually winding them up and taking them for money.
It's not traceable.
Is this because you can get like hitmen and whatever?
Basically, this guy's going to expose your website and expose your identity and blah blah blah. But if you give me X amount of money, I'll kill him. And the cunt was like, cool, send me a photo to let me know it's been done. And they staged the photos and sent them all. The funniest thing, I'm watching the documentary, about 5 minutes in, I'm going, he's been played. Like, you could tell immediately. I was like, he's been fucking wound up. This is the same guy. This the guy's got 3 different accounts pretending he's all these people, and I'm like, this guy's playing him for money. And at the end, the big reveal was, and it was all the same guy. I fucking knew that 2 minutes in. You know what I mean? So for how smart he was a fucking moron when it came to that shit. I was like, mate, anybody would be able to tell that you're being wound up here. You're getting played.
That's the
Know
thing.
what I mean?
Some cryptocurrency just got like crashed. Like totally lost all their money.
But
when you looked at them,
FX
it seemed like they were getting played. It seemed like it was all
FTX, I think.
FTX,
aye.
Nah,
But it seemed all.
It was like a.
It didn't seem totally real. It seemed all kind of they were getting played. They were doing the I don't know. Now they try to go to Dubai and fuck off to. Aye. You're
talking about technology being scary. That's the worst thing, man. If they get rid of money, then at least if you were on the run, you could stash your cash in your fucking mattress. Know what I mean? But see, if it's just a case of we hit a button and you no longer have anything to your name, how fucking terrifying is that? That's completely without your control. When it's no physical and tangible, when money is just something that exists on a screen somewhere, some cunt can just.
Trying to do that in China,
they can just shut you down like that, man. You're done. You're over.
I think it's a whole new thing. Like, even more than what it is cash being digital, it's like they're trying to start a fucking central bank, digital bank in China, like.
But it's just that. You can imagine that. Oh, Steve, we don't like that song you made. That doesn't align with our political beliefs or whatever. Bang, name our money.
Yep. No, I don't think it's like you can't get on the bus that day. Like you go to scan your bus thing and it's like.
You can't travel and shit.
Aye. Anything. Being able to cut you off anyway.
This is a weird shit we used to talk 10 years ago, thinking it when they happen.
Alex Jones was right, mate. Alex Jones.
Oh, what?
Free Alex Jones. He's been sued for like $1 billion now.
A lot.
Alex Jones.
Aye.
Like $1 billion or something. They're trying to offer.
Aye, they're trying.
Did you see the video when he was like?
Has he got that much?
No, well, I don't think so. But did you see the video when they were like?
He can't be $1 billion.
You're
just a mental guy.
Could be.
Infowars is
really.
Infowars is massive, eh?
He had the video when he was getting it, like the judge was like saying you're all due this much money, like millions and millions. He's like, make it more. I don't give a fuck. You just see him screaming in that. It's fucking brilliant.
He also owns products.
Yeah, if you're going to get in a blaze of glory,
he sells products.
He's not coming back to Twitter though. Elon's not bringing him back on Twitter.
Alex Jones. I think he sells CBD stuff and he sells products.
He's like a political commentator.
See, 15 years ago, he used to do this Coast FM and we talked about conspiracy theories.
Right.
And then he started getting into the Sandy Hook.
Right.
And
then they sued him for it.
We said none of the Waynes were real and
they
didn't really get shot.
And now we really need to watch our fucking words.
He started off as a bit of a conspiracy head, and then he got
I think he's not ended off
as
a bit of a conspiracy head as well.
No. I've never been a big follower of him. He's too fucking nuts, eh? He's quite can't control himself.
Joe Rogan's quite
gets
powerful.
angry and that.
Yeah, there's things you can speak in your mind and just chat, and then there's things we're going.
Well, I'm not saying I don't like him, but I've never watched much of him because I just found he just got too angry in that. I liked watching people like Graham Hancock and that chatting about shit. He is.
David Icke's another one as well. He was a bit.
David Icke. You know, he used to be a goalkeeper for an actual.
And then he said something weird. He said something about the royal family or lizard people or something. They fucking.
That's late.
He just watched. You ever seen the series V for the 80s? You'd obviously just watched that as a burning. But
I don't think
it's a bit, isn't it? But see, do you like but your favourite rappers? You go, oh, this is good. I'll enjoy this until he gets murdered, and then a month later, right, that's him done. It's the same way MD who's a political commentator. You go, oh, this is quite. I like this. I wonder how long before he's cancelled, and then 2 weeks later, right, now you find somebody new. You know what I mean?
Just made me think a topic. Who knows what's going on with 21 Savage and Nas?
Yeah, I know all that fucking shit. Nas just released a fucking damn near classic. I think KD3. But 21 Savage and Drake just released
context first. If you've not
21
heard, 21 Savage is an American rapper that was born in the UK, who he has said he is. He said in a thing, I am the best rapper from the UK, and he also said that Nas is irrelevant.
Aye.
But they know none of this.
30. But 21 Savage and Drake just released an album. I thought it was a bit too singy. I like both the artists though. But then the question is, what is relevancy? Because like Nas has still got all his fans, people still go to his shows.
I'm going to be honest, I couldn't name a 21 Savage song.
His earlier work's good.
I can name a
song.
I can name a Deeko song.
No, he blew up around 2016, 17. Yeah, I like Bank Account's a great song.
I don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
Bank Account's a great song. His first
we were listening to something fucking a few weeks ago. Sorry to cut.
No, that's fine.
It was like one of the rappers. They're huge now, like fucking. But like, just listened to him a few weeks ago, like one of the young fucking thugs or something.
Alright, Lil Uzi or something.
Lil Uzi, yeah.
Guys,
That boy just died. Takeoff died.
Take off the Migos,
Have one of the main guys. Who's it? Percocet. Mali Percocet. It's fucking.
Sounds like any song I've ever-
Is it the boy that got shot?
No.
No, the boy you were talking about that died the other week. Halloween.
Takeoff.
Apparently, it was one of his own people. That
Have a wee think about who it is, because I think we're going to have to stop for a wee break anyway.
Right.
So I think it's Young Thug actually. Like,
Oh, Young Thug,
is that who does?
he get to jail recently.
Did he?
It's like a big
Deeko
Deeko
charges,
case.
Right. No, there's fucking these rappers are doing serious numbers. Like, they're fucking I saw a thing on Shorts, and it was like what people get paid for their gigs. Artists didn't they know half the artists, and most of the top earners were new guys I've not heard of. Like,
Oh, big time,
Gets the most for a
They're all stupid enough to still be running criminal organisations. I mean,
over in America, they're making massive sales. Like, they are the new school over there. So,
and a lot of the old school cats can't get over how they're moving around, because they're just like putting themselves.
It's different
in a
than it used to be.
position,
They're
They're not thinking about their welfare and their security. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why there's apparently I wasn't aware of it.
I've seen that now.
They're drattling flies now, man. They really are.
There was one boy.
Too much cash.
There was one boy that was doing that dice game, and a couple of people.
Right, I'm going to have to cut us for a break because we're going on too long. And alright, and we'll have a wee break. We'll be back in a wee minute. Peace.
Catch.
Heads up, lock and load. Ain't no one round here fucking with strong toe. Yo, step up, come and have a go. But no one round here don't want none. Yo, step up, lock and load. Ain't no one round here fucking with strong toe. Yo, test us, we're knocking doors. Common denominator, make them all long gone. Heads up for my opening salvo. Sounds go up and down like Dow Jones, but still retain their value. And landlines, no mobiles, just dial tones. Punch in off the top, but the dome like a pro. All comes down to the how-to, how I do, power moves when I bounce through with the fully charged power tools. Fuck the crown jewels, I'm Razzle Ghouling round two. Pink Panther pulling heists and you never found a clue. Back to renew, the needle to the groove. When the diesels in the dupe, they flop like seagulls with the foot. Peace to my peeps who hold down the scene too. Clinch it at the last minute, breeze through, dream true. A reek of cool waters and expensive cigars. Show up heavily armed, leave you mentally scarred. Grievous bodily harm, ring the alarm. Cause no one out there's fucking with strong toe. Heads up, lock and load. Ain't no one round here fucking with strong toe. Yo, step up, come and have a go. But no one round here don't want none. Yo, step up, lock and load. Ain't no one round here fucking with strong tone. Yo, test us, we're knocking doors. Common denominator, make them all long gone.
We're back, guys. We're back. We're chatting. Who's chatting?
Do they still do now?
Do they still do news? They must be on a
No,
hundred.
not CDs though, it'll be to the instrument. But
I think you still get CDs, eh?
No CDs, no 45.
Like now 100 and
Now
whatever
that's
it
what I
is.
call rock.
Yeah.
they do genre ones.
To be fair, there was some amazing songs I heard on them. That song from the 90s I really love, that Star Sailor song.
Star Sailor?
Don't you know you got
your daddy's eyes.
My daddy was an alcoholic. I love that song.
We're getting on to old tracks and old
Nineties
releases.
podcast.
Just in
It's like a
case,
PRK stand-up.
just in case you sounded too sure what's going
This
on right now.
podcast for anybody who was born in the 80s or beyond or before, actually.
or anyone that exists, whoever exists, is
Do you love some? If you're asking about 80s tunes, Deeko knows his 80s.
No, what's the one
I
you always?
enjoy my
What's the one you
decades.
always play with the lassie who she's talking to her parents, even though she's about 30?
Fuck.
Love is a battlefield.
That's a tune. That's a tune.
You are strong.
What was her name? Pat Bennett or Bennett or?
It's like the age of the ballads and that.
Stadium
Oh,
song,
ballad.
Queen
I
mate,
love a
stadium
ballad.
songs.
A power ballads. Can't go wrong with a power
You
ballad.
don't get
There was quite a lot of Scottish bands that were into that shit, like
Run Rigging, cuts like that.
Run
No,
Rigging.
no.
Who was the other one that done Restless Natives? Fucking Were they even called Restless Nature?
Bay City Rollers, they were Scottish, weren't they?
Aye, they were fucking
Deacon Blue.
Deacon Blue.
If you're
Pick
talking
your
about
mic
like
up.
90s cool
Where?
looking
Pick your mic
lassies,
up.
you had
Mike.
you had what was the lassies in Glasgow? Strawberry Switchblade.
Hue and Cry.
Strawberry Switchblade. Was that not them?
I don't know, do I know that? I don't know.
80s band.
Maybe.
Strawberry Switchblade from
The
Glasgow.
name doesn't ring a
The
bell.
two, they look like. Oh, okay.
Must be
We'll give
something.
them, I'm sure. Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Do your Googles.
They were like a punk rock sort of.
Remember that?
What do you call it? Madonna sort of look like, but they were
Actually,
fucking.
one of the
Yeah.
only
I still
bands
use
I
that
still
term.
like are Churches, like the modern sort of bands. Churches
Yeah,
are good, man.
Churches.
That lassie's from Glasgow, she's got a brilliant voice.
Somebody would get mad, they'd have Fred Rosell.
Something tells me I like them. Aye.
The
Churches,
Rangers.
oh, you definitely heard them, man. I think they had a song in FIFA one year.
Do your Googles.
Aye.
And I remember going, who the fuck is this? And you could hear the Scottishness coming through a wee bit, and it made me check who they were. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, they're a Glasgow band? And aye, the lassie's got an amazing voice.
That's well. Early 90s was that Strawberry Switchblade. I'm sure that was the fucking name of them. Something like that. Anyway, Strawberry something like that.
Switchblade, like.
Strawberry. What's
That's
this?
the 90s, was it? Aye.
Aye, something like that. Anyway, I might be wrong, but it was something like
Was this
that.
the 90s? Aye.
Aye,
Aye,
but
so
no, my
get
favourite
away with
Scottish
it a bit
bands
more.
though. Even me and my mate Steve went all the way
No,
to see
it
a
was
few
like a
gigs.
Madonna fucking
They were. Alright.
tribute
No.
band. It was
Well,
like-
they had 10
I
number
didn't
ones,
get
guys,
what
what the
Wern's
fuck?
talking about.
No, they had one big
What's your
song.
dream with?
They had one
you know
big
what?
song.
You're in the Riddler. Wait,
See, I don't know if I'm right or I'm wrong, but something tells me in my mind that remember that fucking again, everybody will remember Semi something or shit. You'll definitely remember, you're the same age as me, but remember Bewitched, the Irish band.
Yeah.
They were the first band, and if I'm wrong, you can check it and Google it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'm sure they were the first band ever to have like 4 or 5 number ones in a row.
Aye.
How mad is that? Bewitched, the fucking Irish
That's
pop
crazy.
band.
They beat. What?
They were the
Like-
I would have thought. I would have thought Spice Girls because
Yeah,
at the
the
time
Beatles
Spice
were the
Girls.
name.
No.
I'm sure I remember hearing it at some point in time that they had like 5 number ones. Their very first 5 singles went to number 1. And
They were all like-
they'd never done that before.
They were all brother and sister,
I didn't know
eh?
they did anything after C'est La Vie.
C'est La
But they all
Vie.
died after.
Oh, Roller Coaster.
Oh,
It was
Roller
a-
Coaster.
it was a classic, mate. Come on. Step your game up. You know what I mean?
Hi, sorry. Strawberry Switchblade, the Scottish wave
still on
pop
it.
duo in Glasgow in 1981.
Wow.
Jill Bryson and Rose McDonald, best known for their song Since Yesterday in 1985.
So he
Aye,
didn't
Strawberry
make it
Switchblade,
up?
the,
That's
the first Glasgow band that was really famous. Yeah, I remember them on Top of the Pops.
There you go, man.
Strawberry Switchblade.
There you go.
Aye.
Nice.
Aye, sorry,
Big
I'm
facts.
talking.
Big facts.
Anytime we go to Mincy's house, he watches these retro Top of the Pops, and some of the shit's funny as fuck. It's shit you would never remember, ever. It's not going to be on any compilation list because it wasn't a good enough song, but when you see it, you
Sell
go,
enough.
fuck, I remember that. You know what I mean?
I always remember the one where it had that boy going, the original Valerie. Call on me, Valerie.
yeah.
But then you remember the dance song in the 90s, it was Call on me,
Call
Valerie.
Call on me or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but apparently he tried to sue them and he lost. Like, and then you listen to the old song and you're like,
Same song.
fuck, it's the same song, but he lost.
Remember
It's the same song and he
Bit of
lost.
Sweet Symphony, that happened.
Aye. I
Really?
was thinking that the other day.
Was it
mental.
Stones?
Stones,
They sued them for everything they were worth and they never made a penny after
Good
that. sort of
fucking
thing.
lawyers, man.
But they actually paid for a segment of the tune, and they used
But did they?
a wee bit more, and they got sued for
Oh,
using
that was the thing they
too
done.
much.
So they admitted in the first
Aye.
place this
They-
is a
they
song that
actually-
we're bumping this.
Yeah. No, well, they paid for it. They paid for the clearance. So on one bit of the sample, that's what I heard. Do you know what I mean?
Mental.
It's kind of
You know the Vanilla
hearsay.
Ice thing, didn't you? When it came to under press, down, 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 down,
Did he not
like-
get
He
paid?
just
No,
bought the tune
he
'cause
just,
it
he
was
just
cheaper.
said, how much am I
Cheaper.
paying here in royalties? And they told him and he went, how much is it to just buy the tune? And he went,
bought-
this much, so he just bought the fucking tune. So now when the Queen,
Honestly,
now when the Queen
that's
version
true.
gets played, he makes money and they
That's fucking
don't. Big up Vanilla Ice. know what I
again,
mean?
eh?
That is fucking. Because Vanilla Ice doesn't get a good rap, like
No, he doesn't. He
at
doesn't.
all.
'Cause you know, he's quite a
He's
clever
never in the
guy.
top 5.
Aye,
He's
aye.
never in the top 5.
What's
He's-
he been in recently? He's been in
Top
the-
five,
he's-
top
he's
five
a
white,
blast,
top 5 white rappers, definitely.
Doesn't need
He's
to be in anything,
no,
he's
no,
got that.
he's in fucking a sitcom. It's a bit under the radar. I'm sure it's called Killing It, and it's the same producers as Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which
Right,
is
okay.
brilliant.
Oh, that's
Aye,
funny as
Brooklyn
fuck. Aye,
Nine-Nine's
that's
fucking
hilarious.
genius.
Aye.
Like, aye.
Adam
Love watching
Adam
that with
Sandberg,
kids.
Adam Sandberg.
who I just recently
Lonely
heard
Island.
is
Andy Sandberg.
Andy Sandberg. Do you know who he's married to? Any's ever heard of Joanna Newsom? the lassie that plays the harp. She's this classical harp
Aye.
player. And he's fucking married to her. That pissed me off.
Why?
Give us your chance, man. You know your fucking chance. Did you not censor your last
He's in
song?
a band as well called
He was.
Lonely Island. Yeah.
Lonely Island.
Aye, Lonely Island.
Oh, but they
That's
were the
so
ones
weird.
that they done Hunters of spoof songs.
Aye,
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 that
aye.
shit was funny actually. aye.
That's his whole thing, like, but it's brilliant.
But I can't lie, that annoyed me when I heard that.
Why that annoyed you?
It just sounds like fuck him. I mean, that's not fair.
What else has he been in?
Andy.
Andy Samberg.
Nah,
like,
nah.
He's that comedy actor. I know who you're on about.
Brilliant.
Aye, aye.
I like
With
him
Terry-
in
Hot Rod
Cop
film,
film with
that's
Terry
funny.
Crews.
Yeah, wasn't he in
Big
he
Terry
was in that
Crews.
terrible
When Layla and that get a bit older,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, series.
you'll
Not
be
good
watching
stuff
this
as
because
well,
it's actually really good,
Aye,
and they
cool.
can watch it too, Ken, because it's no too much other shit in it. Like,
Terry
Aye,
Crews
aye.
know in the sitcom with him as well.
Aye,
they're in the
that's
same
right.
sitcom.
And they're all brilliant in the sitcom. Like all the characters, the writing's fucking amazing. Like, do you know, all the lasses and that. There was the lassie Amy, who's married to in the series. She was in a new one called Blockbuster, but checked it last night. Shite. Just before you
thumbs
think
down.
about
I've not
checking.
seen
I was,
any of these movies, man.
I was actually just binged last night episode 1 to episode 7 of House of Dragon, the new
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones
I've never
things.
seen Game of Thrones ever.
do you know what I mean?
I've not
It's,
Nah.
Well, I've seen like 5 episodes.
to be fair, I can't give you any spoilers because I don't can't any. Do you know? I seen someone joke about this, but it's fucking true. I don't know any cunt's fucking name. They're all called fucking Horizons of the. But you actually just with their name. You actually just go. No, you actually just like, right, that's the princess, that's the daughter, she's that princess, that's the son, that's the princess, that's his daughter, that's his. Right, okay, they're married, okay, and then it goes after 4 episodes when you think you've got everyone's names, it jumps 10 years in time. So every cunt.
This is Game of Thrones or this is the new one?
This is the new one.
The new one, right.
This is set back 100 years
Before Game of Thrones.
before Game of Thrones. This is this dragon people.
Prequel.
This is the Targaryens.
Oh yeah,
They own the dragons, right?
They got murdered.
Aye, so I just watched this episode.
She's hot, really fucking hot.
Good actor, like, do you know?
Aye,
I
I've seen
never
her
watched
in
Game
the
of Thrones,
Christmas
but she's
movie.
really
She
good.
does a Christmas movie that's quite good.
Is that a natural hair?
Which
That's
one's
what
this?
stands
The
out.
blonde lassie, I
blonde
don't
hat,
know.
aye,
I'll
it's
get
co-
the-
it's a
If you're
hair-
talking
it's a
about
hair
the
that
last
makes
hits
her
in the
look like
first
that,
episode, by episode 6 she's gone.
No, the one thing I know about it. No, the one who's got
Spoilers!
the one who's got the dragons and that in Game of Thrones.
Oh, you're talking about Game of Thrones.
Aye.
No,
Riddler's like, I've just started watching
I'm
this.
totally lost on all this. Like,
No, I say that's all I know about it. Is I like her. 'cause
I've
she's
not been
fucking
in
gorgeous.
the
She's
link
a
of
good-
this
right, she's a good
conversation
actress.
for a bit.
well, this
Riddler's
is
like, let's get back to Magic Roundabout.
this is set 100 years before
Right,
Game of Thrones.
right.
Before
It's a
that,
prequel.
but you do have the.
So you know how it
tie-in.
ends.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Aye,
shit.
mate,
What
That's
shit
it.
is it? No,
Why watch it?
I wonder if the dragons appear. No, I mean,
Dragons?
There's
Well, no, you got loads of dragons.
that's what's so good about
I won't watch
prequels.
anything
Though,
with
like,
dragons.
I love fucking when Game of Thrones. I've not even watched that, like, but when you get things that have prequels and how attention to detail and how really how good they do it. Like I've been watching Raising Kanan.
mate, I saw the first
Did
season.
you watch it?
It was
It's amazing.
And I've not
Mate,
seen the second
mate,
one.
I was telling you for fucking.
You no, but
Weeks, months,
you and
man,
Jinx were
mate.
telling me about Power and that. I've still not watched
Aye.
Power.
No, Jinx isn't into Power. Power's no as good
maybe
as
it was
Raising
Elle. Must have
Kanan.
been
Aye,
Elle.
it's Elle.
Must have been
Elle's
Elle.
into Power.
But I've not seen any of that shit. But I watched the first season of Raising Kanan. I think the second one's done now.
Aye.
So I'm going to watch that.
It's
as well.
amazing. It's even better. Like, have you watched it?
No,
Mate,
no.
you'd love it. Like,
Aye.
it's juice. It's fucking
Oh, nice.
juice.
Oh, it's
man,
incredible.
It's
As in
fucking
the set late 80s, early 90s, fucking brilliant.
92, like,
I'll have to watch it.
92.
Brilliant.
Got the
Fucking
Ralph
brilliant.
Lauren suicide ski jackets and that.
they're
They're
boosting all the
fucking-
clays
aye,
now.
aye,
Aye,
and
it's
that's where
brilliant.
all that fucking low life shit comes for, all that Thurston Howell.
How good's Joey Badass?
He's amazing.
It took me about
Mate,
4
mate,
episodes to realise it was him.
I know, same.
I'm going, who
I
is this
was-
cunt? I know him.
same,
Right,
same.
if we're just asking, what is the best series of all time?
Maybe True Detective season 1.
True. Series of all time?
Get back to me.
I'll say Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. I've only really started watching Sopranos, but Sopranos is probably one
tough
as
to
well.
say
I
Sopranos
fucking
is
love Better Call Saul as well, though.
The Wire, man. The Wire's fucking amazing.
The Wire, fuck, I forgot about that. Riddler, what you
I
think?
don't
Best
watch,
series of all
I
time.
don't watch any of these series. I'm totally lost on this whole conversation. I watch
Best
movies
series
a
of
lot.
all
but
time.
But see, I'm saying
a
True
heavy
Detective
question.
because it's just a one.
The Wire, Breaking Bad, but these are the things that are
Do
going
you
to
mean
be...
like drama series?
But True Detective, some of them were
True
really
Detective,
good and some of
I
them
watched a
were-
couple
No,
of
I've only
series,
ever seen
but
the
I can't
first one.
remember
Oh,
what
right,
they
That's
were.
my
cool.
point. If you
Second
just
is amazing.
if you just talk about that one individual
Right,
season, because
right,
then it's like a long movie, innit? You've seen it.
It's like
Woody
a
Harrelson.
movie. You have to
I would
binge
have
it.
Matthew McConaughey. See, if you just take that season, I don't mean the rest of it, I've not even seen the rest of it, but if you take that one season alone, I don't think I've ever seen a better story than that. It's
That's
fucking
right.
incredible.
Steve told me as well that apparently that American Horror Story's got 2 new seasons that have just come out this month or in the last month. That's back. Those were some of the best horror things I've ever seen. Like I didn't even like horror until I
didn't
seen
watch horror
those
shit,
seasons
like-
of
You watched Black
kind of
Mirror?
American Horror Story when it actually
I've never seen it.
As fuck, though.
that made me like horror.
It was weird to say you can watch Black Mirror because
watch Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, I don't
No,
watch Black Mirror.
no.
He's like a
I
good
can't watch
I
it.
don't
I
watch
can't watch it. I can't watch it. It's too
Really?
real.
You
It's
watch
too
Black
real.
Mirror?
It's too much.
I can't watch
Never
it.
seen it.
I mean, it's
man.
really well
it's
done.
too
It's,
real.
it's,
Predicts about
it's
the future
fucking
and bad
crazy how
What
crazy
would you
it is,
rather
man.
watch?
It's
But
mental.
see personally, what
No,
are
I
you
don't
doing?
like
it's-
Are you do you like? Would you rather watch like a fucking superhero thing or some drama or some comedy? Like, what's your favourite thing to sit and watch?
Apart from pornography, weird.
Apart from porn.
No, I like what have I watched recently is apart from that House of the Dragon, I've been quite enjoying
Do you like fantasy or do you like?
that. Well, this is this anime
Sci-fi.
called Chainsaw Man. That I've read the fucking thing we've got.
Held
This is
Adesanya talking
fucking
about it?
mental.
Right, he's
Right.
well, it's
Adesanya.
called-
This boy's in the
You're very good
Yakuza
in
getting bullied by the Yakuza because his dad was doing money and they killed his dad. So they're making him like a wee Yakuza slave, and then they're like, fuck it, kill him. But they kill him and his wee fucking devil chainsaw dog, and then the chainsaw dog becomes part of him and makes him this fucking crazy chainsaw cunt. The chainsaw comes out his face, chainsaw comes out his arms, and he just
Is it an animation?
well, I've read it's a manga, but it's no anime, and there's now probably 5-6 episodes out.
Right,
You'll get it on the fucking wcforever.com.
Anime's massive.
Couple-
though.
aye.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Pirate, yeah.
Nah, I've
No,
never
fucking
actually watched any.
Chainsaw Man's my favourite.
Sorry,
man.
that's
one of
I
my
like that.
bairns.
You see some,
One of my
aye.
bairns is into like all the.
My
anime
ex used to
stuff.
draw it. She used to draw it like perfectly, like
Aye.
design cunts tattoos and all that shit.
Huge,
But
like,
I've
yeah.
Now,
never
boy at
actually
work,
watched
right?
it.
He asked him if he watched Chainsaw Man. He says, no, he's never watched it because he used to cosplay.
Hey, you want to put this
he
boy
used
in wax?
He used to cosplay it with his girlfriend, and she cheated on him with a boy who cosplayed as Chainsaw Man. And he's like, I can't watch it, I've got principles.
What a fucking.
Imagine that, eh? And I'm just imagining
It was
getting
me.
pumped by the chainsaw guy. Fucking
Hopefully no
coming
way
out,
the
yeah.
chainsaw and that.
Hopefully not.
I know,
Safe
but
it.
hopefully not with the chainsaw.
There's a fetish for everything.
I know.
You so.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but yeah, and you know, he was
No, but,
I've got principles.
When you're going to
No many, but.
that
do
was
cosplay,
I'm not massive at my seasons like that, but there's a couple fucking seasons. There's one thing called One Punch Man.
I've seen that.
That's fucking
That sounds amazing. Like, it sounds
Brilliant.
right up my street. Like, you've got me.
Oh, you don't even know what that? Oh, right.
no. That sounds right up
Nah,
my
there's
street.
a thing called
I'm
One
the same,
Punch Man.
aye.
That's really good, and Chainsaw Man's really good. But
Is that anime as well, though?
One Punch Man. It's just this boy that can just kill anyone with one punch, and every time he does it, he's like, "Oh shit, I just killed him with one punch."
Is it a cartoon, though?
Aye.
Aye,
Well,
aye,
aye.
Poor cunt's just trying to take his
I don't
anger
know,
out,
aye.
keeps
I thought
killing
they.
people.
Aye.
That sounded like a martial arts movie. I was.
It's a
excited.
is it
Cool.
not a Bruce Lee fucking
There's a
move?
There's
like,
a.
As the 1 inch.
Aye,
one
aye.
inch
Aye, the
punch,
one
like,
inch-
eh?
1 inch punch
Aye.
and saying cunts flying
There's
across the
books
room.
in it.
That's what it's
I could do
about.
that.
This one boy can just kill anyone with one punch, and he's trying to be a superhero. But every time he just kills someone with one punch, they go, "Why? All the blood." They're like,
Because
"Why?"
it's sad, eh?
Yeah, he's like,
So
"Oh,
he's all
I can't
depressed
believe
like
I've
that.
done it," and everyone's like,
It's like,
"Oh,
"Oh,
you must have
I'm
been weak. You can't believe you've done that." And
So I'm
they'll
saying the
just
guy
seem
just
like
wants
a
to take his
loser.
anger out,
It's
and
quite-
can he? He only gets one digging.
Exactly.
The fuck?
It's like, oh, it's over. Fuck.
It's quite funny, man.
The superhero. I didn't watch any superhero shit apart from The Boys.
Oh, that's
The Boys.
Aye,
The Boys.
that's on a
Boys.
different level,
Aye.
man.
Yes.
Mate, it's fucking amazing.
Nah.
Fuck off. You never
Is
seen
that-
it?
Is that a series?
Yeah.
I don't watch
2 or 3.
series at
Oh.
all,
It's
man.
incredible, mate. It's incredible.
Don't-
See
I
for
should
the
watch a
graphicness
series.
of the violence, I don't think I've ever seen anything as realistically graphic and as gory as that.
The
you know what I
Boys,
mean?
is it
What
like a
came out?
Marvel
What
or
came out?
something?
Remember Invincible?
They stepped it up like.
Remember Invincible came out as well.
The
You ever seen
cartoon?
that? The cartoon.
Aye, the cartoon,
That was
aye.
quite fucked up. But then when The Boys came out, it just was like.
Oh, totally different. It's pretty much saying, see
I
if for
recognise
a
some of
super
these
hero
names.
shit was real,
Aye.
this is the way it would really be. They'd be
There's-
controlled by the
one of the
government,
boys
they'd be
has
all
got
about their
quite
approval ratings and
Long
all
dark
that shit.
hair, eh? Like dark hair.
They're just all owned by the government. It's like Pepsi and Coke.
Longer
They're all
dark
owned. They're
hair.
owned.
It's
things.
like
I
it's
think
like
I've seen things for it, and they've got
it's
special.
your
It's not Marvel.
It's your
or that.
typical. It's not
No,
Marvel.
it's
It's dark,
it's
man. It's
Aye.
a dark. It's fucking.
good, man.
Aye.
It's
Most
good. They get
violent
political
thing,
with it, but they
graphic
take it's like
violence,
South
like-
Park.
I
They
think I
take the
just-
piss out both sides, you know.
I've
I like
watched
it.
like 2 different series. I can't even mind what they were, and I think I just find like fuck. I've got to dedicate time to watching these fucking series.
That's what annoyed me when I was watching the.
Well, I just want to watch a movie.
Sometimes when I was watching that on, because I had Amazon Prime, I was watching the Lord of the Rings thing, right? But then I was watching that House of the Dragon thing, and they're too fucking similar. Sometimes I was waking up and
That's
going, I'm getting
aye.
confused about which one I watched last night. That had the dragon, that had the fucking orcs, right? Aye, that had the princess, right? That had the boat, right? Okay, right.
Aye, it's a
Honestly,
bit-
they're so.
aye.
It's weird that they've actually released these 2 massive series at the same time. Like, you'd think they'd space them out.
Is there no a Harry Potter thing now as well? Is there no some Harry Potter series or something? Or movies or something that's sort of
Probably just
continued
J.K.
that?
There's a
Rowling
game,
having
there is
another
a
rant
game.
again.
We've turned into like fucking movie chats. Interesting, way.
But
But
I've been watching those series wise. Peep Show.
Oh, it's a
Been
great
right
time.
through it.
It's a
Peep
great
Show.
time.
I've never really watched it before. It's fucking amazing.
Aye, I
Never
get that
seen
on
it.
Sky.
Oh, it's
Several
funny
times.
as fuck. Like
Who's in that?
it's
Robert
like
Webb
it's
and
the
David
thing.
Mitchell.
Aye, but it's the thing where it's like
It's the one where
It's
it's
from
through
the
your
view.
brain.
Point of view.
Point of view.
Point
Aye.
of view.
I think I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
hilarious.
I've heard the name a zillion
I've seen it
times. I
on.
just couldn't
I've seen it
tell you.
on my
Oh,
Sky
you
Peep
It's-
Show. I've never watched it.
It's like cringe comedy, ken what I mean? A wee bit like it's it's before The Office, I'm sure. Like,
Aye, it's quite
but
old, eh?
It's
Aye.
similar to The Office, but obviously it's nothing like it. Do you know what I mean? It's got that British
It's
feel.
on one of the older Sky channels. I see it. Next to all the
Probably
like,
got
the
on
It's
police
brilliant.
channels.
It's actually it's so old. It's well, it's filmed obviously at a time when it's not really good equipment, and it is grainy as fuck. Like some of it, but it's you couldn't write that shit now. Like, hey,
Aye,
honestly, it's funny as fuck. Like,
The one thing
check
that
it
still
out, man.
defies all logic that it's still on the air is South Park. How the fuck they get away with it the
I
day
know.
I've got no idea. I
I've
know it's a
never-
cartoon that, but
aye.
still in this climate, this day and age, how the fuck do they keep getting away with what they get away with?
They've always got away with more, eh?
I know.
Aye, aye.
know every
You sound
time.
mental if you try to go at them or complain about
Wait,
it.
got South Park made fun of me? Aye, you and everybody else in fucking Hollywood.
This guy
I
doesn't
mean,
like
so-
South Park, what the fuck?
Do you know it was,
Friends with this guy.
it was with Kanye West, he came out and he had a problem with him or something, every cunt just went, shut the
Kanye
fuck
West
up.
this done on his album.
Aye.
South Park writers can eat a fish stick.
But I'm sure everybody just universally went, shut up.
Do you
No,
like
Like
fish sticks?
Yeah,
Right.
love him.
You love them?
You don't get fish.
must be a gay fish.
He dissed
Don't
South
hold
Park.
it.
Fucking hell.
Ah, he's like the South Park writers can eat a fish stick on his album. So fuck
Do you like fish
Take
sticks?
that, Trey Parker.
Aye.
Do you like fish sticks?
Fish sticks.
That's what they call fish fingers over there, eh?
Nah,
So
I
when they
think
were
they're
saying like, do you
seafood
like fish
sticks,
sticks? Yeah. That's what it
Fish
was.
some
Still
of the
hated
fish
that
they've got
though,
over there is fucking. I mean, you didn't see it here, Ken, the shrimp and all that.
Aye,
Like,
it could
it's
be a fish
massive
stick,
over
like
there,
seafood
yeah.
sticks, eh?
Okay,
So you're saying you
crab
like
sticks
fish
and all
sticks?
I
that.
had a mate who was
Are you saying you like?
went
Do
to
you have
Alabama.
fish sticks when you're
He's telling
gaming?
me about the biscuits and gravy and catfish and shit. He's like, that's the shit these cunts have for breakfast. Like a catfish with the heat still on it, some biscuit that you're gonna rip your gums apart on, and just this big bowl of gelatinous gravy. You know what I mean? And I was like, fucking hell. They're all kicking about in wife beaters that they've not washed in 3 years with their 12-year-old bride next to them. You know what I mean? You're just like, ooh, some dark shit.
Alabama, like.
Right, Alabama, good old Alabama.
So would you say like series is more than movies, or movies more
now,
than series?
now that series have turned into mini movies, every episode's like a mini movie.
You,
That's what that
you
word,
would say
Raising Kanan and
you
all that.
prefer actual watching series than a movie.
It's good to cinema still.
If it's good, you'd rather see Melon Live.
Mad, eh? It's like
get full
MMA and boxing
Exactly,
again. Eh?
I was just,
It's
you
like
know
it's
what,
fucking.
the
Is
same-
that what you
same
were just
cross-
thinking?
well, I was
Aye,
just
aye.
thinking that
It's
same
like
thing,
MMA and
totally.
boxing. It's like a
So,
new thing that's
aye,
taken over the
your
old
film.
thing.
Your film's the boxing, which is like the grand event, and when it's fucking when it is. The you know it's the
When it's good,
ultimate
it's
it's
a-
the ultimate
aye.
it makes everything else the penultimate like it the actual fucking big boxing fight. Do you know what I mean? Even that Tyson Fury one and that they were mad. They
Aye,
were
aye.
fucking. They were amazing
Him and
fights.
Wilder
Like
were
him and
huge fights.
huge
Massive
like
fucking fights.
and they'll look back and they'll be classics. Like,
Aye,
do you know?
aye.
So
Really?
that's maybe in
Think?
comparison.
You know, it's
that's-
oversaturation because
I
the
don't think
thing
so.
boxing's
I
had against it
disagree
is
with
you
that.
don't make enough big fights, but it also makes people go, shit, a big boxing fight.
Aye, exactly, exactly.
Whereas MMA do it every week,
Yep.
which is a good thing for us, but at the same time, there's no the same excitement because of that.
Nah.
Like you had your big box office draws like Lesnar and cunts, right?
Yep.
I mean,
So
say what
that-
you want about the fact that he wasn't trained or wasn't this or that. The cunt won the fucking heavyweight title in like 3 fights,
But
and
remember,
still defended it twice against heavy opponents.
Well, who's this new boy? No, he's no new. Like, the boy that beat Izzy. last week.
Pereira.
Aye. He's
Kickboxer.
Aye, how many fights has he had now as a champ? 2.
But he's the same as Izzy, as he's had a long career in
Aye,
kickboxing.
aye.
Been the man in kickboxing for a long
This
fucking
is
time.
nothing compared to like when it was like Pacquiao Mayweather, and that was a disappointing fight. But
Pacquiao's older by that point.
remember that. Remember
And
every
I
cunt was like
you know what?
paying 20 quid and staying up till 5 in the morning to watch that.
I
And
watched
then
that.
we were
It was
all
later than
disappointed.
5,
We were all
aye,
disappointed.
aye.
That was years ago.
I stayed up to
Do you
about
know what I mean?
5 in the morning and then jump on a flight to Thailand about an hour and a half later. I was literally rushing to the airport to get to the
I
airport
was
just
so
because I wanted
disappointed
to see the fight.
And I knew after it you were like, he's just going to defend and win.
But-
And you knew.
Aye.
But we all stayed up to 5 in the morning.
Pacquiao
and
done
watched
well,
it.
but
Oh, aye.
he done well considering how badly other
But
countries.
after-
He had an injury as well. like,
tore his rotator cuff or some
Aye.
shit like
But
that.
after that was the last sort of boxing fight where I went, right, these are exhibitions now. And a lot of them have been since that.
Nah, it's not the case, man. It just
No.
might look like. Nah, honestly, the fucking boxing fight's proper, like
No,
on the
they're-
line. No, it's not. They're not. I don't think they're fixed at all. Either,
No, that wasn't
like,
fixed.
you know what I mean?
But
I tell you, man,
sometimes
they
when you
Fury
get a boy
Wilder
that has
fights weren't
perfect
fucking
control.
fixed anyway. See when he get knocked the fuck right out and he just right back up again, you're like, what the fuck's going on here? I thought he was done big time, like Tyson Fury.
Aye, but the judge, the fucking
The ref,
the ref, he's definitely gave him a generous 10.
maybe, but he did deserve it.
I did.
He did deserve it, man.
But it was
Considering
unreal.
what he'd done in the past.
It's
Yeah.
do you see
Some
Wilder's
fighters that
face?
get a wee bit more leeway than others, which is
Aye,
fine
aye.
because you know who they
Aye.
are.
No, he talked about it after it. He was on YouTube and he was saying, people have said that, but there was nothing underhand. It was his call at the end of the day. Like,
So thank fuck he made it, man. Because look what happened. You know what I mean?
that last fight was unbelievable. Like, do you know what I mean? But we were talking about Floyd earlier. I don't know if that's on the part of the footage that we've no got.
No, I was just thinking they were like
no,
exhibition matches.
The
though,
reason Floyd's so good is because he's been
Defence.
smart enough
Defence.
to. Aye, totally.
And it's
you're right,
boring,
man.
but it's
he's been
fucking
smart
good,
enough
yeah.
to dodge Pacquiao for like as good as Pacquiao's whole career, basically. And just at the end of it, like he's like, well, Ken, he's the least sort of.
Yeah.
You know
He's
what
done
I
that
mean?
with a few cunts.
Aye, of course, because that's.
He
part
didn't
of
get
it's
Canelo
playing
at his
the game.
best either, you know what I mean?
Right,
So.
right. Aye, because he made light work. Well, he didn't make light work of Canelo, but he definitely beat him. Like
He fought Hatton when Hatton wasn't at his best. Don't get me wrong, Hatton wasn't at the same level as other cunts are, but he was still fucking dangerous.
Folk didn't ken how good
Didn't
Floyd
fight
was
Logan
going to end
Paul
up
at his
beating
best.
at that
definitely.
point. Like,
Fucking hell. I know,
unreal.
I know.
That's a.
See, for somebody who's considered a boring fighter, who's ever marketed themselves
Yeah.
as well as him?
Have you
For sort of a guy
actually-
who's boring, usually you market yourself well because cunts go, he's accessed Mike Tyson or
Yeah.
whatever. Whereas Floyd's considered to be boring as shit, but he still pulls in the money more than anybody because he knows how to market his shit.
Aye.
Did you
I
see
know,
that?
totally,
What
man.
Deeko's just saying there? Did you see that
Floyd
Logan
didn't.
Paul in the WWE where he's fucking jumping over the
No,
ropes?
I'm doing Floyd Mayweather fought Logan Paul.
Who am I getting mixed up with? The boy that
No,
just
the
was
dad.
in the WWE,
Aye.
flipping over the ropes, doing the fucking moves. He just had
Oh, that was
he jumped off the ropes.
Who'd you just say?
Who was
Logan
that?
Paul.
His brother.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
No, it was
Jake-
a no Tyson Fury's dad. Took his top off and all that, and he was fucking like shouting for ringside.
yeah,
I've seen that.
Because his
Aye.
other son, what's his other son's name? Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, he was
Aye.
meant to fight one of them as well.
Aye, and
That was pretty cool when he
It
jumped
was an
off the
extreme.
thing and he done that cool rope flip. I was like, I can't believe that boy's
I
only
don't
had
know
3
why.
wrestling fights. He's better than our little
I saw
wrestlers.
what
I've
you
seen.
seen
How
with
sad is that?
SDI.
Like,
Aye.
How sad is that?
Yeah.
Wrestling's pish
So-
these days. I used to love
AEW,
it.
baby. That's what
Aye.
it's all. AEW.
It's all
Jungle Boy.
Fucking
Wrestling-
MJF.
that's me.
MJF,
I'm
man.
Yous-
I'm actually Jungle Boy.
You were asking earlier, like in the first bit, what were we into? You were all talking like Ken Thundercats and all that, but wrestling was when at our age, everyone
Golden-
when
golden
wrestling
age.
came along.
Stone Cold,
Like
yeah.
it was just like fuck it. It was obviously marketed really well. I remember the Royal Rumble because I'm not really
Aye,
into
aye.
wrestling, but I was at that point.
That's
like
a
every
classic
clutch
one.
fucking power driving
Aye,
each
aye.
other and that, like swapping figures and
Hardy
that.
Boys,
like,
It's just
totally.
mental, eh?
The Royal Rumble, fucking Ric Flair won. Came, I mean,
92, that was
Ric Flair
fucking
came in at number
amazing.
2 and he won the whole thing.
At that,
Yeah.
That was
then,
brilliant,
Like,
that was
P6
brilliant.
and P7, aye.
Right.
But aye, that was fucking. That
Well,
was
do you know the
definitely-
good thing is for our age, you're only a year younger than me.
Yep.
See, for our age, we got Bafe, the golden era as a wrestling, because we got the Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair sort of shit, and then we also got the Attitude Era at the end of the 90s, which was The Rock and Austin and that. So we get the two of them. I think that's why everything seems disappointing after that,
Aye, aye,
because
totally,
it's just
man.
all garbage now. It's
That's the
all
thing. I said it on his podcast when we were on it before. Like the first time I ever seen the wrestling, I was in my mate Chris Scott's house, and it was Stone Cold was just filling a car with cement.
Aye.
And
They
I
were the
was
days, man. That was
what the
brilliant.
fuck is this? And he was like, this is wrestling. I went, he's filling a car with cement, this isn't wrestling. He went, this is what he does. He's his manager, he's born this in his boss's car. I was like, alright, cool.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, how can you not love that when you're fucking
That's amazing.
10-year-old? You know what I mean?
Did you see the Netflix documentary about wrestling? Like, it was like the sort of darker side of Jake
Oh,
the Snake and
Dark
that
Side of
was
the Ring or
fucking...
something?
Dark Side of the Ring.
Aye.
Wow,
That was good, like, that was
that
really
Vice, it's Vice that have done it.
good. Is it Vice?
It's
Right,
Vice that have done
right,
it.
aye.
Yeah, Dark
They've
Side
got a
of
good
the
one
Ring,
now
yeah.
called Tales for the Territories, and it's just cunts telling wild
I've only watched
stories
a couple,
the
yeah.
That was Andy Kaufman. Remember Andy Kaufman?
Right.
He done a thing with Jerry Lawler.
Right.
On the Letterman show and all that.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
all-
yeah, yeah.
Andy
Oh, of
Kaufman
course,
was a
yeah,
legend,
of
mate. He
course,
didn't
of
even
course,
tell
yeah,
his own
yeah.
family about that it was fake, because they were in the days when it was meant to be real. So Jerry Lawler said when he eventually met Kaufman's family when they were making the movie, his family came up with, we hated you for years, and he goes, why? He's like, because we thought you'd really done it. And he's like, what? He didn't tell you it was fake? And they were like, nah. Didn't tell his own parents that it was fake.
Oh, yeah.
How fucking cool is that? Know what I mean? It's like, aye, this Jerry Lawler guy tried to break my neck, and they're like, oh, we hate him, he's a dick. No, it was all fake. Know what I mean? Or staged, should I say, no
Wrestling's
fake, because
not
it's
that,
fucking
yeah.
brutal.
Do you remember wrestling actually came to like fucking Edinburgh back in the day? It fucking, what do you call it? Meadowbank. It had all the fake wrestlers.
Aye.
It used to come up. It was the
You
fake
still see them
Undertaker
doing
and that.
fucking
It was
seat
brilliant.
and
It was
that,
brilliant,
like,
man.
hey, I understand
I'd
why
watch
they're
that.
doing the
Oh,
circuits,
we,
doing the
I remember
Haven
being
circuit,
10-year-old
like,
once, and the
Yeah.
Undertaker came out and he was acting all cool, and then some wee guy just showed his hat.
Yeah.
They just try to act cool and like, fuck you.
Well, they'd have people
I want my hat
pretending to
back.
be dressed up as different wrestlers.
But you had it, the tour of the UK, the tough. I mean, I
There wasn't
this-
actually the Undertaker that made the one.
No, of course it wasn't. But you'd have the fake people that would go
Aye.
around the
Aye.
fairs and they do the like you do fucking
the
Yorkshire,
Undertaker.
Edinburgh, Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? It'd be all the
They
things.
still do, man, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes they would spell their names slightly differently so they wouldn't get copyrighted. My favourite one I've ever seen is a guy called Raymond Stereo. So when you say his name, it's Rey Mysterio. Raymond Stereo. Do you know what I mean? You have
Right.
little things like that.
Well, do you want to stop for another break and still have another last wee bit before we end it, or do you want
is that
to
time up?
call it quits for the night?
Aye,
What are you
man.
thinking, guys?
You want to let us know if you're working on any new music?
Do that in the last bit then if you want to do
Riddler?
So do you want to do another wee last bit?
I'm cool. It's up to you. It's up to Word.
I am easy.
Yeah, and then we can still have another track on just now, and that means another track one of these can supply. Yeah,
Nice
we'll
one.
go
man.
for that.
Go for it, guys.
And then
Nice
we're
one.
gonna
Enjoy the
and then we're
track.
just gonna come back with a really short last part. What will be a track on details just now.
If we make it.
We'll make it. We'll be there. I'll keep them going. Peace.
What up, Leaf? Your boys back on beats. Breakthrough wisdom, back teeth. Word and deek still ripping all reek with V's in the air like a flock of geese. Not peace, got an archer reach. Our first seat gon' crumble before we leave. Slash to the backpacks, pull your cap back like a 90s wee chav lad. Whole fucking scene's all handbags, argue online like MI5 spy plants. Might quit rapping, make psytrance, least when we're raving in the woods, there's no fan dance. Damn man, nails through my hands, I'm Jesus on the mic, Parazan, Christ on a randan. Dan, pretend not to notice and you'll never get your ma back.
Push forward, rewind back. This is a story that I got to tell. Push forward, rewind back. This is the story I've got to tell. Push forward, rewind back. This is the story I've got to tell. Push forward, rewind back. This is the story I've got to tell. Speaking for myself, I don't understand why the best bars don't ever really sell. Your top icons talking all night long when they rarely scratch the surface underneath their nails. I can conjure up facts and let them know like Siri. We get it from fans who say your words speak to me. Conceding the point, become exposed like genies. Now what in the fuck do all you people want from me? Do the dance, jump around, maybe clap your hands. Dumb it down, spin it round, now you'll understand. Fuck is that? The old ways are never coming back. For nostalgia, maybe you should mention Thundercats. Won't be the first one to say it, but if everything's the same, then they won't want to play it. If everyone's a player, who the fuck is spectating? It's Word and Deeko people, what the fuck were you expecting?
I don't skate still, Miss Bristol. Studio 24, man, it did go. Things that I love made I'm asshole. I might as well move west to Glasgow. Still love Leaf, that's my damn home. But Edinburgh feels like it's sunk low. Drowned out the sound in its class war. Built more flats that nobody asked for. Don't know much about politics, I just know that the council are robbing pricks. Fund underbelly in the Porsche bits. Fancy change like Lord Provost has. Who's to blame when the core of this? And soul of the city was sold for bids. All my life I have loved here. What happened to the city that I held dear?
I want you to get this book where he breaks. I want you to find his stand before you leave next. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to push to the dead.
Are you gonna work all day? Or are you gonna fight?
Remember we used to laugh. Remember we used to dance. City needs a new fresh start. Hope this love just ain't in the past.
Looking up from a bench to an empty park, wondering to myself why it fell apart. All the dreams that we had kept them in the dark until the next day let us freestyle for a laugh. Some had plans to escape, maybe start again, but the lights from the post draw me back in. When I sketch my thoughts, I think of past times. Takes me back to a place I never can find. Played my first gig up in Shanghai. Made me think I belong to this lifestyle. Looking for an answer, never get it. Why? Cause when you're comfortable, then why question it? I don't pick artists for the relevance, or where they're from, I'm interested, they developed it. They couldn't hold us back, so we let them spin. Others couldn't read the signs, so we said them this.
Right guys, that's us back. Hope you enjoyed those tracks tonight, and we're just going to finish off with a wee quick chat about what folk have been up to and what they do for anyone else that isn't too sure what they actually do. So I'll let them self-introduce themselves and what they've been up to. I'll maybe let it start over the other side there with Word. Go for it, Word. Grab a mic.
This is my flat. Well, you'll probably notice these weird things. That's actually from a wee cat to run up. I don't actually put
like an
books
MTV
on
Cribs.
these weird things. MTV Cribs right now.
It's like an
yeah.
Etcher sketch, like
Exactly.
Like not an Etcher sketch. Like
What do you do, Word? What are you?
What do I do? I do hip hop and I do drawings for building sites.
Yeah, nice one, man. Cool. What you been up to? Any music recently?
Me and Mog have got an EP. We Childhood Games is out now. We actually got a remix EP out with Edward Spark. He's just remixed 3 of the tunes on it and released it. So if you want to check that out, you've got the whole EP and you've got remixes to check out. Aye, but just doing hip hop all the time here.
You still working on some new stuff to now, like wee bits and bobs?
We'll see. I go through phases. I think everyone goes through phases when you're right into it and then you have a wee break, and then you get right into it and then you have a wee break.
Aye.
Right now I'm in my sort of wee break period. So
Aye.
I'll get right back into it soon. But
I just get a random day. Like sometimes I'm gonna write something to that
I know
beat.
you get.
I just feel like I'm gonna write something to that, and then I might get a random night where I'm like, oh, I've got that there. I could just record it quick, and I've literally ended up with some tunes built up doing that.
And the thing is, as soon as you start getting one, it builds up. You know, it's like, and then you're like, oh shit, and then you pull out another.
Aye,
You're like,
and then
wait, I wrote that last week. And then you start looking at what you've written, you're like, oh, okay.
You go from like, oh, I've got that wee verse there and I could record that. Then you do that so many times. You go, oh, I've got like nearly 6 tracks there. I should release that. Like that's how it seems to happen.
No rushing it. You're a bit Ukrainian, but you know.
I've not been making any plans. Pass on.
How do you make your beats? Like, what's your process for making beats?
It depends, I mean, if I got a new
make a
sound
beat for a
pack,
tune.
if I got a new sound pack, I'd want to try them out. So I'd probably search through like heavy bass drums and listen to them. So I might start on drums, But if I was just if I heard a track and thought, like sitting watching YouTube, one night and going, oh man, I'm gonna sample that. And then the next day going, oh shit, that track I was gonna sample. I'm gonna work straight off the sample. I'm gonna find all the nice samples, and then put the bass on to suit the sample, and then put drums around it.
You ever check BeatStars?
I've heard of it,
It's fucking unreal,
Right,
you go on it, I'm sure it's called BeatStars, so you go on it and you just type sort of beat you want, whatever, like Twister, I mean, sort of hip hop. You can be as specific as you want, and hundreds of tunes will come up. Like hundreds of instrumentals.
I've seen that. What's it called? Whosample.com. When you
It's
feel like
happened,
you're like, what's that fucking sample? And you type in a song and it tells you. So, but it just tells you the song.
It lets you play where it's been sampled for. No, that's
like you're like, what's that fucking sample? But you type it in this website and it tells you.
It's like a research site. Totally, man. That's cool. Like, if you're wanting to see, like, deconstruct a tune and see for producers, like, but producing's a whole different thing for MCing, I reckon. Like,
aye, totally, aye.
You know, and a lot of
I don't know about other producers, but I quite often don't even listen to what the rapper's really saying, I listen to how he sounds and how well he flows on it. And I remember like a joke about rappers being in key and that is that even a thing that's possible? But I think it is.
Oh no, there's definitely getting rappers that are monotone and ones that can
They're
adjust
not in
melodically
key.
to the beat.
Yeah, you need to kind of be in key. Because you could be rapping just a bit more to suit a beat, and you could be rapping a bit higher to suit another beat. So there is like a key.
See if you hear a DJ who's remixed your song, sometimes it's totally out of key.
Yeah.
Because like I will try my best anyway. You know what I mean, to rap melodically to whatever the tune is.
Aye.
Some cunt who doesn't, you could put any beat to the lyrics as long as it's the right tempo. It's going to sound the same regardless because it's on monotone. It's all at the one thing. But if you're trying to adjust your vocals and that to a certain melody, you hear a remix and you go, that's bullshit.
Aye, because it doesn't suit it.
It'd be like trying to do it to a singer.
Aye.
You need the right melody to hit the right key.
Sometimes it works, luckily though. Sometimes you remix and it shouldn't work, and then you go, fucking hell, that actually works. You know what I mean? But that's just lucky. Aye. Well, we should move on to ST. What, Mr. Mackenzie?
Aye, strong tone. Not been up to much, just do my thing. I'm releasing a EP with Big Al. That'll be the second Headhunters release. Big Al for the Jacobites. So we're hopefully releasing that this year. I like to always drop something in Christmas time.
Cool, man.
That's sort of, you get all your shit done for the year, like you get it finished up. I think that's when the studio's the most busy as well, so you have to.
So you've got a lot of stuff recorded in that, like.
It's only going to be an EP, man. It'll only be 8-10 tracks. Do you know what I mean? But it's just time.
10 tracks is an album.
You still got
10 tracks. It won't be 10 tracks.
You're doing your thing with L as well, because I've heard something of that.
Aye.
That's going to be banging, man. You got some serious features on that as well.
Aye, we've got some really good things in the pipelines. Like, we're just working on carving, like, and then we've got to have a substantial collabo album, like, that'll be an album, like, I mean, and that'll we're taking a bit of time with that. There's actually the video we done. You see the video called No Biggie? We've done that video. That track will be on the album. Like,
see, I saw some of the features you've got, and I was like, that's fucking heavy.
Totally,
cool. So that's coming this year.
Watch this space, like, there'll be some heavy shit drop. Me and El Green, fucking unexpected guests, sometime probably next year, like, but we'll hopefully be getting the gigs on the go as well, fucking after the year as well. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully a scene builds up, and then we get a chance to showcase some of the new stuff, and so do you guys. Do you know what I mean? Well, you're already active, like.
Well, I was going to ask you, you're all welcome at New Year up Colton Hill. We're playing a New Year gig with the Ducks.
Quality.
And the boys just left it up to me to say if you want any MCs up, we're going to be there all night, so you're all welcome.
Is that all the viewers and that as well?
Well, you're all welcome if you can all rap.
Mentioning gigs as well, I'm sure that Tuzan's doing his album launch, and is it the 2nd December he's at the Bunker?
Right.
So maybe check that out. Suzanne's got his album launch on in the Bunker. He's got his album launch at the Bunker. I think that might be the 2nd of December. Maybe you have to check that out. But he's got an album launch, and then so New Year.
This is even out by then.
Yeah. Listen, Edinburgh hip hop's getting a bit back into it.
The Susan dropped like 3 banging videos.
I've seen the one with the puppet and the one in the house. I've got the vinyl. I've no fucking even opened it yet. But I've got I bought this vinyl.
That's a collectible, like.
I want to know.
Let's move on to
Deeko.
Deeko. Let's move on.
Aye.
Deeko, can you see at Deeko Music? Like and subscribe. Smash it.
Lift your
mic up.
Deeko.
I'm working on an album now. I'm sure everyone in this room will probably be involved. Future producers going to get it on.
Nice.
Hopefully looking at maybe 12 to 15 tracks, get about 3 videos shot, get a handle on the videos, check out the last video of me with the Mog, check out me and Weird's album from last year, Sorry We Were Missed, all streaming sites. Let's fucking go.
Nice. Who's on the beats on that?
What did we have? We had Nunny Boy, he was on World's
Nunny. We got Jigs for Preston Pans.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've got a new song with him on the beat, Angel. It's out now.
Yes, Angel. Right.
Yeah.
Who else did he?
Check it out.
Yeah.
They'll be credited on the
Scan Squad.
Scan Squad.
He's been making beats for us for fucking years.
Yeah.
Scan
Is he
Squad.
still making beats?
He's
aye?
still fucking going, bro.
Stevie.
Big Stevie Scan Squad.
yeah,
yeah.
Still in it.
I see him
Aye.
popping up here and there, like,
First tune we ever done was one of his beats, was it no?
Was it?
The
I
one
think
with
it was.
Wardy. One with Wardy.
Every day just stays the
Aye,
same.
aye.
It all stays the same.
No,
yes,
that was
it's just like right now we're all sitting in
12
the
years ago. 12 fucking years ago.
mate, and it just stays
Aye,
the
he
same.
was. I think I used to see him at all the battles and that around that time, 2010, 2011. Like,
Oh, everybody
Aye,
had a
he
tune
was
on
dead
his
sound.
beats at the time.
Aye, everybody,
Our Kanye
I done like 2 or 3.
crazy.
We'll move on to Mog then.
Well, I'm just off the back of doing 100 fucking albums in a year, so there's probably nothing forthcoming music wise. It's all been put out. So in September, me and Weld done Childish Games EP at the beginning of September. In the middle of September, I done a 15-track demo with the Ducks, which is the main focus going forward with the band. And then at the end of September, I done a 10-track drill album with YB. So I'm all tapped out.
You've done enough for the year, eh?
Next year's about playing music as opposed to making it.
Aye.
So
Aye,
definitely.
doing lots
We're playing a
of
lot of
gigs
shit
and
with the Ducks. And big shout out to Hendo for doing our first video.
Aye, nice, aye. So, good stuff. Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on, guys, eh? Big
Cheers,
up
mate.
to everyone, big up to Word, big up to ST, Strong Tone, big up to Deeko, big up to Mog, and big up to myself.
Big up to yourself. You're fucking right.
Right, guys, thanks everyone for watching. Till the next time. Boom. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to make sure you don't miss out on any upcoming content.